Go ahead.
All right. So, last time, after having acquired the final piece of the key necessary to enter within the Temple of the Ruins of Belsamir, deep within the Ruins of Belsamir, you opted to explore the remaining tower, the ramshackled tower that stood atop the hill where the Scarlet Moon Hall was. While exploring the tower, a couple of you fell through, only to be confronted by some impish-looking fiery creatures who, upon slaying, blew up into flames, which caused the entirety of the already weakly structured tower to kind of erupt into flames. You managed to escape from the tower just in time, taking dry flagon along the way, and the tower eventually began to kind of burn down. As it burned down, however, you noticed that at the base of the tower there was a tunnel that led down into the earth into what looked to be a door leading into the temple. You opted, based on the tower at the top of this hill now burning and kind of creating a signal, to leave dry flagon tied up close to the tower and then to flee away from it, trying to put yourself some distance between yourself and any would-be guards. You opted to retreat back to Red Larch, did a little bit of business there, and then, as you recalled, Dr. Tumes had encouraged all of you to return to his tower if you managed to find and acquire all 4 pieces of the key necessary to enter into the temple itself, at which point which you decided to do. As you approached the Feathergale Spire, where Dr. Tumes resided, you couldn't help but notice that the sky had taken sort of an odd, stormy turn. When you arrived at the spire itself, a number of the Aarakocra guards that formerly flanked Tumes were found dead or otherwise struck in some sort of horrific death of some kind. One was turned to stone, one was turned to ash, etc. At the top of the spire, you encountered the cause of all of this, a forgotten foe of sorts, Dr. Otto Octavius. When you confronted
I never
him,
forgot him.
There you go. When you confronted him, he held aloft a powerful orb, which he claimed held the power of fate itself, and provided the offer to Dr. Kurt Connors to change his fate and allow him to retain a human form. Dr. Connors refused, citing the potential devastation that could happen within the valley if he chose to accept such power, knowing the cost. Before Dr. Octavius could use the orb's power to any full length, a panther snatched it out of his hands, bringing it back to a legendary ranger, Dritz Erden, who had snuck up the tower behind you. A battle ensued between Dr. Otto Octavius and the remaining party, with Dritz aiding you. Over the course of the battle, your bard had the bright idea to attempt a polymorph spell against Dr. Otto Octavius, which succeeded, turning him into a mouse, which Dritz proceeded to kick off of the tower, sending him plummeting in below the skyline and the cloud line out of sight. Now, one thing I forgot to take note of last week, Dr. Connors, when you were stunned by the paralysis ray, you would have lost your hunter's mark, so you have no idea if Dr. Octavius lived, died, and if he lived, where he would have gone. You've lost any capacity to track that.
Cool.
At least off of your hunter's mark. But as you took the time to recover, Dritz suggested that you take the orb and hide it within the bag of holding, which he claimed would stop a detonation sequence, informing you that the orb itself was actually a bomb waiting to go off. It is now safely, for the time being, within the bag of holding. However, you did not manage to dispel the orb's power, and as far as you're aware, if you take it out of the bag, the detonation sequence will continue. You have no idea what that means, what will happen. It's just, for now, sitting within the bag of holding. You have this magical bomb sitting within your bag of holding.
Go ahead. Sorry.
After that was taken care of, Dr. Connors and Dritz Erden kind of had a heart-to-heart, and Dritz bestowed a bow of tremendous nature power to Dr. Connors, a bow which he could call the spirits of the wild to his aid when firing an arrow from it. He thanked you, and as in the midst of a conversation discussing your next move, you briefly caught Dritz, who snuck off again, this time on the back of a unicorn, off into the sunset. As you took the time to kind of rest and recover and catch your bearings, and Dr. Tumes had time to recover himself, he bestowed on all of you a gift, a carpet of flying. It's fairly slow moving, not nearly as fast moving through the valley as the caravan would be. However, because it has verticality, it allows you to fly over many of the hills and mountains that dot the valley. All of it's large enough and sufficient enough that, if need be, carry all of you on it.
Oh,
Now,
sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, so two things I want to ask real fast because I wasn't sure. Do you guys remember if there was anything that we have not identified yet? And can the orb be identified or no?
You could try to identify the orb, yes, but again, it's a bomb waiting to go off.
Right, I'm just curious. I'm not saying I want to take it out of the thing.
Pant will add for your benefit. Actually, can the orb? Yeah, okay. So, Pant will add for your benefit that he can hold the bag of holding open, and you can reach your hand in there and just touch it if you want to try to cast the Identify spell through the bag of holding.
I would like to do that.
Okay.
Take 10 minutes before we get on our way here. And was there anything else that we didn't identify, guys? Do you remember anything? I'll go look at Pants' thing, but I don't know.
Don't think so.
I don't think so either. But for your benefit, what you identify is the bomb portion of the orb itself. Any additional properties, such as that Dr. Octavius was promising, you're not immediately familiar with. It is beyond your realm of magic. However, the detonation possibilities are made known to you through your identification spell.
So, when you say detonation possibilities, we know that it's on a timer, but can it be triggered at will?
With the Identify spell, you are made aware that the orb, if taken out of the bag, will explode within the span of about 45 seconds.
45 seconds. Okay, so it's timing only then.
Yes.
Okay. All good.
And with your identification, in case you don't read it there, if you just smash the orb, it explodes instantaneously.
Okay.
Did he figure out how long it was going to be until it does explode?
With the Identify spell,
45 seconds.
Oh, good.
You know, with that carpet, we could do a drive-by bomb. Just like fly way up in the air, drop it down.
Yes, carpet bombing the local populace.
Yep. Drive-by carpet bomb.
So, would we like to head toward the entrance of the what do you call it? Anybody else got anything else we need to do?
Dr. Tumez will lead you to a telescope at the top of the spire, and looking through it will point you in the direction of the entrance in the valley to the Temple of Belsamir. The valley entrance itself, or the temple entrance itself, is actually in a large ravine off to the east of the tower itself, from out which flows what looks to be an underground river. Eventually, the ravine is covered up top and descends down into darkness.
Oh, I know it. I know the other thing I wanted to identify. The pipe, if we didn't identify it.
Okay. As you cast Identify in the pipe, you're surprised to find it's just an ordinary pipe.
Oh, shit.
Perfect. I'm still going to keep it. Maybe I'll take up smoking tobacco.
All right. All right, so I guess... Dr. Connors, would you like to say anything to Dr. Tumez before we leave?
I just want to make sure he's okay. Sorry I brought this upon him. I
He will
promise to
respond.
track it down and make this right.
Dr. Tumez will respond. This was never your fault to begin with. Dr. Octavius was once a former student of mine, just like you were. And he was often reckless and always had a grudge against me. Every time I tried to warn him about the dangers of reckless exploitation of magic. He always believed that he could do anything if given the opportunity, but never dared to ask the consequences.
Well, I'm surprised you let him under your wing as he is such a fuck, but like I said, we will find him and make this
Doc-
right. I'll bring back his arms for you.
At that, Dr. Tumes will say, "You've been kind of a fuck in your own special way."
I was waiting for that.
Fair enough. All right, let's get on with this. Let's go to that temple. Am I right? Actually, do we need provisions and stuff before we go? I don't know if we need to stock up or if you need any magical items, Kent.
Let me check one thing. I don't think I do. The only thing I'm missing is for a spell that I don't have prepared, and let me just check. You know what? I don't see me preparing it, so I'll deal with it later.
All right. Well, if everyone else is in favor, let's head out to that ravine.
All right.
On the carpet, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. We fly out on the carpet, uttering the command.
I will show you the world. Sorry.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
We'll start playing along immediately, and if I don't find the track for this myself now, I'm with at least the instrumental. I'm going to kick myself for it.
Hold your breath, it gets better.
Oh, come on. All right. So you get on the carpet, uttering the word, and flying out into the ravine.
All right.
All right.
Yeah,
As you fly off, Dr. Timmons will climb to the top, waving you goodbye, and he says, "Goodbye, you crazy wizard, and have fun storming the temple." All right. So you fly off towards this large ravine that splits the earth. As you fly down, eventually going into the darkness, presumably one of you lights a torch or has some other light effect as you zoom the flying carpet within the ravine. It twists and turns madly in hairpins around sharp outcroppings, even underneath, down what appears to be some stairs through even which this underground river is flowing. Eventually, you come off a hairpin turn that moves away from the river and down these stairs. And after moving at least 2 miles, you eventually come to a large landing, in front of which is the door leading into the ruins itself that Dr. Tumes promised. As you presumably, correct me if I'm going too far, as you enter in the 4 slabs, or at the very least as Will pulls them out of the bag of holding and begins to enter them in, they look like they fit perfectly into certain slots nearby. And as you slot them in, you can't help but notice that the 4 different stones actually begin to have an arcane rune that traces around them as the 4 different shards begin to form. And forming all together, it looks like this.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
But as they form together, this large set of double doors opens into what appears to be the ruins beyond.
The Elder Elemental Eye.
A foyer, if you will.
Does it whisper anything to us, or?
No,
All
but the shards do form into one singular key.
If I stab it, will Sauron be blinded? No.
Not the stone. So,
No.
as
Is
you
the key
enter,
now stuck there? Or
No.
can we remove the key so that we can close the door behind us?
you can remove the key and the door closes behind you as you enter into this landing. As you enter in through a tunnel, you eventually make your way to the entrance, in front of which is a large stone door. Off the far left is a large ravine that descends down into darkness. In front of you, there's actually the carved reliefs of 2 dwarves that are facing one another. That completes an arch that forms in front of this door. You can see beyond this arch, beyond these stone walls, even in the distance, you can see obviously the remains of a lost dwarven city that sprawl even in the subterranean darkness here, lit up by what appears to be the sparkling of precious minerals within the cavern walls itself. As you come close to the doorway here, you think you can hear what sounds like an agonized cry, followed by a breathless ramble of whimpering pleas, as if someone's being tortured, as if multiple people are being tortured.
As we enter, I'm definitely not leaving the key in the door. We worked way too hard to get that key. It's ours now.
Oh
After
yeah,
we clear this place out, this place is ours. New fort, am I right, boys? All right. So yeah, as we enter, that key will be put somewhere, either on my person or in the bag of holding.
Bag of holding,
we'll
I'd
put it
say,
back in the
right?
bag of holding.
All right. Who's listening at the? Well, we already can hear at the door. Who's bursting through the door?
Nagini. No.
Got it. Yeah. Let's send the snake in.
I was going to say the mage, but yeah. Sure.
Yeah, the mage.
I will get ready.
All right. We open the door and peek inside. What do we see?
Open the door. Fireball. No.
Right. Ah!
Oh, come on, Polygon Reveal, work with me here. Oh, damn it. All right, we'll do it this way. All right. You can see a crooked path leading further on into the darkness beyond. And as you open the door, you can hear the agonized cries and the whimpering pleas. Seem like they're coming from the very walls themselves.
Oh. Those look like some murder holes
That's what
up
I
in this
see.
bitch. That's not cool. Hmm.
Hmm.
Trying to see. All right, I don't know. I guess we'd have someone scout. You know what? I'll scout. Here I go. I'm gonna get my guard up. I'm ready to be shot at. What happens when I enter?
The cries and the agonized pain just sounds louder.
All right. A little bit farther.
Are you stealthing or no?
Okay. I guess I can. Yeah, well, I'll roll a stealth check.
Sure, go for it.
Got an 8.
All right. You don't know if anybody's seen you or not, but entering in, the cries, the agonizing pain just sounds louder and louder. One of them sounds like a child who's just getting tortured.
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna move up.
I got you back.
You keep moving up, and the cries are just louder and louder and louder. Will cautiously moves in behind you, not liking this sound at all.
I'm gonna peek around this corner, see if anything catches my eye. Oh,
There's
still more hallway. Sweet.
There's a door in the far end of the hallway, of this crooked hallway, but there are just agonized cries coming from the walls.
Do they sound like? Did you say they sound like children or people? Just people.
People in general, but one of them at that point being sounds like a child who's being tortured.
Okay.
If we look in any of these holes, do we really see anything? The
Are you
murder
going-
holes?
Are you going to?
I'm
Look
scared to put my face up to it, but yeah, I kind of want to. Yeah, sure.
All right. If you peer into the other end of the murder hole, you see what looks to be a bird-like individual who kind of looks
That's creepy.
like this.
The fuck?
Does it appear armed?
It does appear armed. They appear armed. At least this one appears armed with both a sword, which is strapped to his side, as well as a bow, which he has drawn. And
Awesome.
as you poke inside, two things you notice. First off, it looks back at you with a wicked grin, and with its mouth open, you hear the perfect mimicry of what sounds like one of the tortured souls and the crying that you heard. I'd like you guys to go ahead and roll initiative.
All right. Yeah, 22.
All right. At the top of the round, we'll start with Tegan.
I think what I'm going to do is move to here,
All right.
and I'm going to take my purewood staff and stab it through the hole, trying to
Alright.
hit him. If not, I'm gonna leave the staff holding in that hole to plug it up, so he can't shoot through it.
All
Well,
right.
it's probably a big hole, though.
It's big enough that if you wanted to shoot the staff through it, you could shoot the staff through it and try to get him on the head or something.
Oh, well, then I'll do that then.
All right.
So we'll just do that.
All right. 16 is enough. You shoot the staff through and just clock this bird-like creature against the head as he rears back, kind of holding it in pain.
Okay. And I'm assuming I can summon the staff back, or I have a rope tied to it to snap it back to my hands, or is it?
You can pull it back to your hands with your arm.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a big hole.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So next will be the Kenku. So first off, the one that you've seen here already is going to take its short bow, and it's going to attempt to fire right back at you, Tegan. 22, I imagine, is probably going to hit you.
It is.
An arrow pierces your side for 8 points of damage. Furthermore, from the hole behind Kent and the two next to Tuck, there are going to be 3 more arrows that fly. One at Kent and 2 at Tuck. We'll start with the one against Kent. 21.
Why is he?
An arrow. Because he has surprise.
Hmm. Okay.
He didn't know- or at the very least, he didn't know that he was there.
Okay. Yeah.
So, the other 2 next to Tuck will fire at him. One critting, and the other one missing.
I am going to use my reaction to deflect the first miss. So,
All right. Go ahead and link that ability for me. Attack damage you take from the attack is reduced by 1d10 plus your dex modifier plus your monk level. So your monk level 7. I think it only did 7 damage. 6 damage with the crit. So you managed to catch the arrow in your hand right as it begins to reach, kind of right by almost a critical organ. You think?
uh,
So you've caught the missile.
where did it come from?
It came from the hole right next to you.
Oh, I'm going to use a key, and I'm going to throw it right back at him.
All right. So I need you then to just make this
Counts as a
make
monk weapon.
right. So just make a dex check then.
Plus proficiency. Is the dex check do
Well,
my
that's
proficiency?
proficiency.
So?
If it doesn't, we'll do it retroactively. All right.
Oh,
I don't.
sorry. Yeah,
We'll
sorry.
count the 13. So I did 1d20 plus dex modifier. Your proficiency is +3. So you rolled a 9. We're adding a total of 7 to that for a total of 16. You fire the arrow back at him. So we'll go ahead and roll 1d6. And we'll add the +4 for your dex modifier as you toss this arrow with hard force right back into his face. All right. You fire the arrow back at him as he reels back in hard surprise. And you are made aware, at the very least, of that one's location. And I'll say for the benefit, you kind of get the sense based on where they fired, where they were firing from. All right. Dr. Connors.
Yeah, I see they have bows, and I say, I got a better one, so I'm going to shoot this one through the hole here. Well, I'm going to... Nah, I'm not going to Hunter's Mark him, but I'm just going to shoot him with my bow.
All right.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh, I didn't roll the 1d6.
Well, the
Oh, well.
wilds. 23 will hit.
Spending charge.
Yeah, I wanted to, but I didn't click it, so I'm going to roll the 1d6. Is that cool?
Sure.
I know it's not, but I think you're going to let me, so here we go.
6. All right.
Jesus.
6 is the wolf. Yes. So 1d12 slashing, which you've already done the roll for. So that's the 10 damage. All right. The spirit of the wolf seems to shoot right through the very arrow slit itself as it makes its way into the kenku next to you. And you watch as the spirit of a wolf seems like it just bites into it. The kenku is sent back in surprise as you utter the word, and this spirit wolf shoots through. It dissipates just as it almost passes through the kenku, and you watch as it collapses back through the arrow slit, kind of out of view almost. Are you making any additional movement?
No, for right now I think I'm good.
All right. All right, Tuck, you're up next.
Yeah, I'm going to hit the one that's right next to me with my staff, because I assume that it fits through the hole too.
It fits through the hole. You don't think you can get a ranged attack off with the staff itself. It's a little too big for that, but it's enough that you could shove it through with enough force that you could probably hit him. Okay, good enough. You shoot this staff through with a hard force, and it's actually enough that the Skenku, already injured by the arrow you chucked back at it, reels back, and you just take him out.
Good. In that case, I'm going to run back to this guy here and hit him.
All right. All right. All right, you shove that one through the hole. You hit him hard. He is badly injured, but is still standing. You don't think you can get your fist through?
I figured. Technically, can I move away? Because he's kind of behind a wall.
You're not going to get an attack of opportunity.
No, you're not going to get an attack of opportunity from across the wall.
Okay, so I'm just going to move right over here so that he can't hit me. Or, sorry, right over here. No, that doesn't work either. There's no place I can go.
Not really. I mean, they're going to be able to see you from somewhere.
Yeah, they're
hide behind Pan.
I'm going to stay where I am. Good.
All right. You've entered into a murder hole. It's just these guys aren't particularly strong. You've already found out where they are. All right, Kent, you're up next.
All right. So I'm linking this, but I want to see if I can do this. I think I can, but I think I may need to move first. So I'm going to burn a magic missile level 1 out of the ring that I have stored.
All right.
And let's see, you create 3 darts of magical force. Okay. Now, I already rolled that, but what I was going to ask is if I move him to, say, here, right? Oh, no, I guess they all come out at the same time. I probably can't hit this one, can I? Because I can't move that far.
So even from the ring, in order to have magic missile affect the target, you have to be able to see the target.
Yeah. That's what my line of sight.
Angle that you with the angle that you have, even if you were going to try to cast a spell on one of these creatures, you'd have to get right up next to the hole.
Oh well, fuck it, I'll go right up next to the hole then and cast that magic missile on that creature.
All right. So all 3 of those missiles make their way through the hole and surprise this creature, who utters out another wailing cry. Again, sounds like a tortured soul, but all 3 of them wail into him, and he follows through with some bird-like chuckles and cracking as they begin to pelt into him. He's badly injured. Both of the remaining ones are badly injured, but he's still standing.
And from there, I'm going to actually... You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to stand right there.
All right. Big Snake is next. Not that there's probably much he can do. Miles?
Yeah.
You
cut
broke
out
up there.
I'm just moving the snake back next to the door to guard if anyone's coming from that way, but I don't think she's going to try to get through any of these holes. So, that's it.
All right. Will is going to move up next to this hole, look through it, and shout at the nearby Kenku. Was your mother a crow or a penguin? Well, either way, you're a flightless piece of shit. And it's casting vicious mockery. All right. Not quite able to save, the Kenku is insulted by this verbal vicious mockery, and he watches he grasps his brain and utters another painful cry as he goes down. There's one remaining. At the top of the round is Tegan.
All right. Well, I will move over here and hit him with the staff again.
All right. Good enough. You shove it through the hole, and before this creature manages to duck out of the way, the Hatewood staff manages to clonk him across, knocking him out. You're out of combat.
Bet you weren't expecting that from a glory hole. Oh.
I'm afraid that just makes me sad that one of the Kenku isn't up to give a perfect mimicry of that same insult back against you.
All right. So I guess we're moving upward.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I guess I'll go up here and listen to the door. We do a perception check or anything?
Sure. So, from next to the door, you hear what sounds like the faint traces of music. But it sounds horrible.
So it's the sound of horrible music. Hey, Will, come up here and listen to this music for a minute.
Will will listen for a minute, and he just shudders his head like, oh God, there's no talent there whatsoever.
All right, well, I don't see us going anywhere else, so let's just
go
open the
in.
door.
All right. Opening the door opens into a hallway that continues on. There's a nearby door. In the hallway beyond, there's some sort of passage connecting to the north, and it opens up into what appears to be a larger hallway leading to the east, as well as heading to the south a little bit. It sounds like the music is coming from the north of you, beyond the door.
Okay. Moving on up.
Yeah, let's gather around this door.
All right, y'all just want to open the door, or you want to listen to it since
I'd
all
like
we
to-
hear is
I'd
music?
like
Okay,
to
let's go
check.
in.
I'd like to. I'd like to check for traps first.
All
Yeah,
right.
let's check for traps.
I'm assuming that would require a perception roll.
Yes.
I know
Alright.
no such traps.
You don't even know there's a door there.
Kent tells me everything looks great. I'm ready to go in.
I've never been here before. I expect traps around any corner.
All right. So are you opening the door?
Yeah, why not?
All right. So, opening the door, it enters into the situation I described on Facebook. First off, the ravine continues off in this room down to the west, but in the room is a stone fountain. Carved into the fountain itself is what appears to be a couple of dwarves who are blowing on horns and playing drums. Surrounding this stone fountain are at least 5 individuals in feathery garb who are playing instruments, but they have not an ounce of musical talent whatsoever. Leading them is a wispy-haired elf who looks just utterly frustrated with their attempts to play. He himself is also covered in some sort of feathery garb. Now, Kent, you detect a faint trace of arcane energy here. Will mention to you that the arcane energy seems like it's coming from the carved reliefs within the stone fountain itself, the dwarven carvings in the stone fountain. And yeah, you know what? Will doesn't actually have detect magic, so.
What the fuck? Is he making shit up now? Come on now, Will.
So. I guess I'm giving that to you as a freebie, so whatever. All right, so.
Well, have me roll an Arcana.
Nah, I'll give that to you as a freebie. So you detect that faint arcane energy within the fountain itself. You know it's conjuration magic, but you don't know anything else besides. Now, Dr. Connor is peering at the instruments that the students are playing. You note that they're made of bone, human bone. But the elven minstrel looks back at Will in particular and asks him to show his students how a true artist performs. So Will's already kind of punched in his answer as far as how he'd like to answer this, but I'm leaving the room up for you guys to interject.
To interject, what?
So basically, these guys are trying to play instruments that are made out of human
Right.
bones.
All
They
right.
don't have any musical talent whatsoever. The instructor of these individuals, all these guys are covered in sort of feathery garb, is trying to get Will to show them how a true musical genius plays the instruments.
Sure, I'll defer to him. I'm
Yeah.
okay with human. We don't know where they got these bones. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe the people are already dead. We don't know. Let's wait and find out.
And I will defer to Will's answer as well.
Okay.
And I'll do the same just because I'm curious now to see what happens.
All right.
Agreed.
So if you're going to all defer to Will, first off, Tucker, are you going to drag yourself into the room there somewhere?
Nah, he hates the music that much. He's
He fell asleep out in the hallway.
All right. So what Will will do then, based on his answer on Facebook, is he will begin to start a slow beat and encourage one by one, show the different students around the fountain itself to match that beat, starting with a very, very sort of simple rhythm that doesn't require more than a few notes. And it starts the simple rhythm going off through each of the students, one of them playing a flute, a couple of them playing drums, a number of different instruments. And as the music begins to build into a solid beat, he begins to finish through adding his own addition into the beat itself. The beat itself is almost subconscious. It's something that certainly sounds dwarven in nature, but not something you've ever heard him play before. As they get into the beat, it continues for the better part of about a minute. But as they build into this tune, you can't help but notice the dwarven runes, around the stone fountain begin to alight in something of an arcane energy. And as they continue this beat subconsciously, for the first time in probably their lives within some sort of constant beat that's on tune, you watch as the runes begin, arcane energy between this fountain begins to glow into a bright blue. And it's momentary enough that it begins to distract from the music and stop for a minute. But Will, never being one to be upstage, continues along the theme. You can't help but notice as the water from the fountain begins to drain away, and you hear the shifting of stone as it begins to continue up, and something begins to rise. The students and the instructor begin to kind of drop their instruments and retreat back away from the stone, back towards the door. It looks like they're beginning to they're kind of surprised as to what's happening. They don't know what's going on, and they look like they're getting ready to almost run. But as Wilkins finishes off the song, and you hear this shifting of stone begin to move, you watch as what appears to be a large stone dwarf begins to rise out of the fountain itself. The token doesn't do it justice, but a large stone dwarf begins to rise out of the fountain itself, easily, twice as big as the rest of you and almost twice as large. And as it rises up, the stone stops shifting, and then it begins to move a little bit. And as it begins to move and animate, the students and this instructor immediately begin to look like they're going to bolt.
If
Oh,
I
no.
see this happening, I mean, we're seeing this all happening. Can I cast
Yes.
Hold Person on Wind Tarot before we roll initiative?
You can do so.
All right, because we're going to do that.
All right. So He'll have to make a wisdom save.
Which he
so
fails.
He fails. So you hold him in place. Each of the students are drawn back as their instructor freezes and kind of take a step back from you, completely surprised.
I say, what is it that you think is going on here? What did you just summon? What is that thing? I need to know.
Are you asking this to the students?
Yeah, to the students.
They look confused and like, we have no idea what that is. These ruins are much older than we are. We just, what? Let us out of here. That thing might crush us. And
Now you're gonna help us take care of it.
Before you say that, you hear the stone dwarf utter, analyzing,
What?
analyzing, and it shifts over towards Will, and it says, analyzing.
Oh, it's Elegon.
What does it say? What is that?
Analyzing.
Oh.
Designation: half-elf, bard. Assignment confirmed. Awaiting orders.
That's pretty cool.
Do we determine if he's actually asking Will what the orders are?
I don't
It
think
seems that
Will is Will a half elf?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was a full human. Never mind. Okay.
And it seems like, in fact, go ahead and make an insight check.
All right.
You both think that it's awaiting orders. Whether or not it's specific from Will, it's hard to say. Now, Crow, you're familiar enough, or Kagan, you're familiar enough to know that there are command words that often go with stone golems, and if you say the right command words, you can trigger it to do basically whatever you say.
Well, for Grin's end, I'll walk up to here and I'll look at the golem and say, /help. Give me a list of your commands.
The golem will run through the list of commands. He will not provide the command words, but he will tell you that he can attack. He will tell you that he can follow. He will tell you that you can set him to passive, aggressive, or stagnant. Basically, all the commands that a World of Warcraft pet has, So that's basically what he can do.
Sweet.
While I'm concentrating on the spell, I would like to go through Windhaven's pockets.
All right. So I would normally ask you to make a sleight of hand check, but it's going to be kind of, you know what? In fact, go ahead and make that sleight of hand check, because the initiates, the students here, are all kind of fixated on what's going on with the stone golem, just waiting to see if it turns around and that attacks.
All right.
So just make a sleight of hand check for me. Okay. So you're clearly seen trying to pick his pocket. However, none of them are about to do anything about it. They're too kind of scared.
Mhm.
So within his pockets, there's a bag that contains probably about 75 gold. And beyond that, he's also wielding a rapier, and he has slung along his back at the moment a mandolin.
I'm going to disarm him, but I'm going to leave him his gold.
Okay.
Including the
rapier.
mandolin.
Okay. You're taking the mandolin off him as well.
Yes.
Okay. You take the rapier and the mandolin and just basically...
I'm going to set him down in the corner real fast.
Okay, done.
Okay. Now...
The initiates, the students, are going to begin making their way to this door and very, very slowly kind of open it up and try to retreat into this room.
I would like to say, hold up! Where do you all think you're going? If there's no answer, I'd like an answer. You summoned this for what reason?
We didn't summon anything. All we were doing was trying to play music.
For some reason, I don't buy that answer.
Are you a bone fiddler? I don't think so. But here I find you have a bunch of bones in your hand. Where did you get the instruments?
They said, Windharrow gave them to us. And they point at the person who you're holding.
All right. Well, I don't care if they leave. They don't cause any more trouble. We've got this guy over here. He'll answer some questions, I'm sure.
If they retreat, they retreat. But I'm going to take off my pair of manacles and bind his hands.
Okay. If while you're doing that, the stone golem is standing there waiting, and these guys are just going to retreat into this room and bar the door.
At that, before I release him from his hold person spell, which should be almost up about now, I'm going to tell Will to take command of the golem.
He says, he looks at you and shrugs, and he's like, okay, I'm not sure what to do here.
Just make sure it's...
So-
Go ahead.
Looking down the well where the golem is, or up wherever rows, is there anything like new markings on it, or anything that may tell us what the command words are? Is there something new in the room since this water drained and he popped up?
Aside from the very floor in which the golem itself now stands, there's no indication as far as what the actual command words might be.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to say to Windhaven, now I'm going to release you in a moment, and if you try to speak to that golem one word, it will be the last thing you ever do.
Make an intimidation check.
Because I'm so fierce with intimidation. No. Not unfierce.
He's held, so you're not sure what his reaction is.
All right. His hands are bound. He's surrounded by us. The golem's there. We're pretty sure that we can control it. Actually, I'll say to Tegan, you know what the list of commands are. Just have him follow you.
Well, I know what the commands are. I don't know what the command word is to get him to do that.
Oh, you don't. I thought you did.
Right.
Okay.
No, that's what I was trying to get out of him. He gave me a list of what he can do, but not what actually triggers it.
All right.
El follow Neo Gianto.
All right.
The golem looks back at you and says, "No comprendo."
I'm going to tell Garen or Tuck that I'm going to release him from the spell. If you hear him try to even utter one word of Dwarven, I want you to break his teeth.
Deal. I ready my staff.
Okay.
All right.
Releasing him from his spell.
All right. You release him from the held person, and he lands down on his feet, looking up at you, and is just looking around.
At this point, I'm going to say, "What is that?" Referring to the golem.
He says, "Well, it looks like a dwarf now, doesn't it?"
Yes, it does look like a dwarf. Why were you summoning it?
I didn't summon it.
I didn't say you did. I said, why were you... All right, let me rephrase. Why were you attempting to summon it?
He says, "The ruins here go far beyond what we knew. I had no idea he was actually in there, or what to trigger it."
All right. I'm gonna walk up to him and I'm gonna ask this question. So, what made you choose this room to try to play music in?
The carvings of the bards and of the ancient dwarven bards along the fountain. It makes for a wonderful setting.
Do I buy this
Guy's
at
a turd.
all?
Make an insight check.
Just so he... All right, hold on. Let me do the insight first. Insight.
He's hard to read.
Well, as I don't think he's 100% lying and that he's 100% hard to read, and I've already intimidated him once, I'm going to suggest that Will march him over to the edge of the gorge and basically get the truth out of him one way or the other, or he can see if he can fly with all the feathers on his suit. Because I don't trust him regardless of insight.
Out of curiosity, is this door still open, or did they close it behind them?
They closed it and barred it behind them.
Barred it. Damn.
Okay.
They don't want to have anything to do with that golem.
I just wanted to see if we could see in that room. Maybe there was something in there that tells us what to do with this golem.
Well, Will reads Dwarvish, doesn't he?
Someone in the group does. I know that.
I think
Will
it's
reads.
Will.
Will does read Dwarvish, but there's no dwarven runes or anything on the golem itself.
Not the golem, but the well. Can he look at the well and see if he can make out any of the words on there?
He looks around and notes that there's no words on the well itself, just the carvings of the dwarven minstrels themselves.
Can I do a perception check on the dwarven minstrels to see if maybe there's like a hidden button or lever or something that we are not seeing?
You mean the well?
Looking at the well itself, there's no indication of any sort of hidden button or anything. You think the magic from both the students and Will playing their instruments are what triggered the golem to appear.
But what I was asking is where the dwarven carvings were or whatever, that maybe there was something that had like a secret compartment in them or something that have a list of the command words.
Oh, I see. Go ahead and make an investigation check. Not that you can see.
Okay. That was my other idea. All right.
Well, what would you guys?
I don't know how to continue.
If Will moves, does the golem move, or is he staying still? Like,
Will shift around the room a little bit, and the golem just rotates and looks.
I say, Will, try to play it a command. Like musically.
Will do so, and as he plays, the music resonates through, and actually makes Windharrow kind of happy to hear solid, good music. But as he plays around the room, the golem will begin to actually echo the music as if it were a speaker right through its mouth.
That's kind of cool.
Out of curiosity, since we've gotten the sound of the screaming, was that coming from the bird guys earlier at the torture shit?
As far as you could tell, yes.
Okay. All right. So, well, I'm just making sure it wasn't the golem making that noise, because, yeah.
You don't think so?
the only idea I got at the moment, guys, is for us to go to this door and see if there's something inside this room back here that may tell us what to do with this golem. Otherwise, I don't have any ideas.
Yeah, sure.
There, Killy,
Mm-hmm.
I know we've searched the well, and I know we've looked at the golem. How about the rest of the room? Is there anything else in here that would suggest anything else that could be associated with this?
Make an investigation check.
All right.
You're looking, and you're just not able to find anything. Will's going to take a look himself.
Is there any cheat notes written on the mandolin that what's his name was holding? It's over here in the corner.
I did put it down in the corner.
Yeah. Is there anything written on it?
Make an investigation check.
All right.
If there is, it's hard to see.
Well,
I will say there's something scribbled in the back of the mandolin, but you don't know what it is.
I would like Will's fairly perceptive with musical instruments. Maybe he would like to look.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So I'll motion to Will that there might be something on this mandolin that may be of interest.
Okay, you pass the mandolin over to Will, keeping an eye on Windharrow. And as you begin to pass the mandolin over,
actually, I'm gonna be right here.
Okay. So Windharrow looks nervously as you pass it over to Will, and he looks in the back and he reads it aloud. He says, "Designation honeydew." And the golem straightens up.
At this point, I'm going to tell Garen to throw him off the ledge.
Well, wait, hold on. He may have more command words for us.
You're right, he might, and that one might have just said attack us. Will can read Dwarven. He can read the back of the what do you call it?
He says that all it says is designation honeydew, and as he says it a second time, the golem straightens up.
Tickle corn.
The golem responds, unknown command.
So
Damn.
honeydew, follow. Does that do anything?
The golem turns to you and begins to move.
All right. I may have been a little too murderous there. I apologize. I just did not expect a golem to be right there.
All right. Okay. I guess we got at least some of this figured out. Where to now? Can the golem actually fit through these doors?
We'll see. Yes, it's a tight fit, but he can squeeze through.
Okay. Would someone else like to command the golem?
Yeah. Honeydew, carry me. Proceed.
He lowers a hand down, allowing you to climb onto his shoulder, if you wish.
Well, I'm in the prime riding position. You guys just take us wherever we need to go.
Well, at this point, I am going to say to the group real fast. Well, it's obvious that Mr. Windhaven was lying to us. What should we do with him? He's got men sitting.
As you're in the middle of discussing this, Windharrow will utter something in primordial, and you watch as a door opens up, and he will begin to shift.
Can you tell me what he said?
I can actually I understand primordial, so I should be able to understand what he said.
An arcane teleportation spell, and he's casting
what a douche.
He's casting dimension door to teleport over here.
Oh, okay.
Away from Tuck, and he looks over and he says, designation honeydew, command in Dwarvish, designation honeydew, command override, command alpha 6.
I just scream in his ear. Plug this thing's ears. I'm already up there on his shoulders.
As he's screaming, I run over here and throw my staff at Harrow's face.
Okay. So Dr. Connors and Tuck, I'm allowing the both of you a reaction. So first off, Dr. Connors, if you're going to try to basically scream and block this command designation out, what will happen then is I need you to make an opposed charisma check.
Sure.
Number to beat is 12, 15.
Woo!
You shout, and you try to plug whatever amounts to this dwarf's ears, and whatever command that Windharrow is trying to get through doesn't get through. Tuck, go ahead and make an attack with your staff. He watches the staff comes flying to his face, and he says, "Oh, God damn it!"
Yeah.
Knock him unconscious.
Oh, unconscious ain't working. I'm sorry. Not working. Throw him off the edge of the cliff.
Hang on. I go over, take the gold we left earlier. 75 to be exact.
Yep.
And then I push him off the cliff.
All right. As you kind of roll him haphazardly along the floor, you eventually get him to the cliff side, and you hear as his body echoes throughout the cavern. Flop, boom, 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 boom.
And at that, I curse because I say that was my best set of manacles.
I'll buy you a new pair. We got 75 gold.
Yeah.
Will just shakes his head.
Well, unfortunately, I was not leaving another person that could hurt us in the rear this time.
He shrugs his shoulders and he says, "It's par for the course at this point."
I got to shout loud and here.
I love that your reaction is.
It was the only thing I could think of.
I ask Tegan to tell Honeydew to rip that bar off that door off the hinges down south where the other 5 dwarves went.
All right, so Akamara say, "Honeydew, open door," and I point to this one.
He will reply, "Command acknowledged," and will make his way over to the door, making an attack against it. And I have to find his sheet.
Incidentally, I would just like to let these dwarves go. If they would be
Oh, you're not
willing.
gonna just open the door and throw a fireball in there and be done with
No,
this?
no.
All right. He makes a hard slam against this door, this stone door, and with a strong force already within him, Dr. Connors, you and the snake, by the way, are still on top of his shoulders.
Oh, right, yeah.
So,
Make sure I burn that.
dragging you to the front. Oh, there we go. All right. So, where did you just go?
I'm underneath him, I think. Oh, nope, I'm gone. I'll just drag another one.
All right. All right. So we'll bring you to the front. Oops. To front. All right. So you're still on his shoulders. He attacks the door, busts it open. Peering inside, you can see, first off, the bodies of two of the dead Kenku who are in there, and the 5 students who look at the door in surprise that it is shattered open. They just kind of retreat to the back of the room,
All right, and
trying to
I
stay
will
as far
say,
away as they can.
honeydew, follow and come to me.
Command
Backing away from the
acknowledged,
door.
and he will follow back over to you.
I'm going to just approach the door, and I'm going to say, disarm yourselves, and you can leave the way you came, or the way we came in, and remember this for the future.
One of them will step up and he says, "I don't think this is something we're going to easily forget. We don't have any weapons. All we have are these damn bony instruments."
Well, I'd throw them down too, but you're free to leave.
They throw their bone instruments down, and not looking a gift horse in the mouth, they are going to turn around and swing out this door and run for their lives.
So, can I tell Honeydew to only respond to my voice? Can I? Is that a command? So, Honeydew only respond to my commands?
Command not acknowledged.
Trying to figure out how to log them from other dwarvish people taking over and while we're dragging them around.
I say one of you non-shoulder riding people should go check out these bird people and see if you can find any more information on them or any valuables.
I'll go look.
Okay, so on the bodies of the bird people themselves, you see the crude sort of short sword strapped to the belts that make up that makes up their belts. They also have the short bows, which have been dropped to the floor. They're carrying a few somewhat well-made arrows, actually. But aside from any other valuables beyond their simple weaponry, you don't see anything else.
I'll gather the arrows and give them to Will if you want to give me a number. Because I don't know how many. Not Will, Connors.
There's about 40 arrows, maybe.
All right, well,
All.
I'll give him a quiver in case.
Sure.
Never know. Okay.
There wasn't any crossbow darts in there, was there?
No.
No. Okay.
All right. So.
Oh yeah, now that I remember, I know we talked about it. Do you want my dragon bow, or are you sticking with the crossbow?
Who?
You.
You.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna stick with my staff because I can turn it into a crossbow. I just need some crossbow bolts.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm looking for anyway. So when we find some, I'll just use that, and that way I'll have a ranged weapon as well. So you can hold on to your bow.
Well.
I mean, I replaced it, is what I'm saying, so I don't have any use for it. But yeah, no, I understand.
I say, you guys, I don't know that there's without the loot or the mandolin or whatever it was with the Honeydew's name on it. I don't know that anybody else would really know the name, right? So you guys think it's safe to have Honeydew follow us or move with us?
Will will mention that every time in order to command him to do anything, you have to utter his name. It seems.
Yeah, so someone will hear us immediately.
Right.
Well, not if the
That's-
guy
that's
that's riding on its shoulder whispers it in
I
his
can,
ear.
honeydew, go forward.
Command acknowledged. And he goes forward right up next to this wall and stops.
Perfect.
All right.
I mean, that works for me if Dr. Connors wants to control him. That way we don't accidentally give away the way to
Sure.
control him. That's
gonna-
what I was trying to protect us against, since that almost bit us.
I'm gonna leave the snake on the ground.
You mean
to
other than
do
for the
what she-
I
I don't know how many times I can do that.
Oh, Jesus. All right. So
right.
we need someone out front to scout down the hallway. Either
right.
Will or...
I'll go out here and look down the hallway.
Oh, yeah, you're kind of stealthy, aren't you?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a stealth check for me. All right. So
I will peek around that corner.
give me just a second.
I will back him up.
All right. So, peeking around the corner, first off, down the northern hallway, you can see a couple of. You can see there are 3 obelisks that have their sides inscribed with ancient pictographs that stand in a row. The peaks that stand at least 15 feet high above you and pierce, above almost into the ceiling above you, the cavernous ceiling above you. Each of them tied to the base of this obelisk is a grim, gaunt-faced human. Around them, around the obelisks themselves, are colored cobblestone mosaics that, looking at them, look like they depict some sort of dwarven character with a huge warhammer slung over his shoulder. And if you want, I'll allow you to make a religion check.
I will do so. If Crown...
right.
never mind.
The imagery of the mosaic of this dwarven character is Moradin, the patron saint dwarf of the dwarven god.
Okay. What can we see about these guys that are tied up? Are they live, dead?
Make a medicine check. They are starved, very starved. You can see they have hollow-looking rib cages. Their bellies look to be little more than concave spaces, and the flesh just stretches thin across starved bones. They look like skeletons wearing armor.
But they're not dead.
No,
Are they gagged?
no, they're just tied to the obelisks.
So my snake's gonna look around and see if there's any bad people, and if not, she's gonna come back and tell me so I can move forward. So do I need to perceive, or can I just see that there's no one of harm?
Are you just hanging out in the room with the golem there?
Yeah, I don't want the golem to move up and be loud and give away our position, so I have
Okay.
the snake up here.
So the snake will warn you, or the snake will notify you that if she's going to slither back, that there are individuals in the room beyond. Whether or not it's danger is unknown.
All right.
So I
Snake will
guess
come up,
I'll kind of move here so I'm not exactly close to him. And I will ask, how did you get here? See if I get a response.
He'll look up and he'll say, "It's a test. The masters are teaching us how to survive on air alone."
I will respond, so you don't want any food or water?
No.
Killy, looking at these obelisks, is there anything I can detect about them? Anything at all? I mean, magical or non-magical, or...
You don't detect anything magical per se. These are ancient obelisks that have have mosaics carved into them of Moradin, presumably carved by the dwarves who created the original town down here.
Do the mosaics like seem to tell any kind of story at all or anything like that?
Make a perception check.
All right. Perception. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing you can see.
So, are these skeleton figures at least armed, or are there no armament, or what? I mean,
They don't appear to be armed. They
Okay.
appear to be little more than skin and bones.
so then I will look at them and say, "Would you like me to untie you from this obelisk?"
No.
And
We must survive the test if we are to become initiates.
Ooh.
so, if I cause you to auto fail the test, what would happen?
We would be destroyed.
What test?
To
They're
survive.
probably trying to join this cult.
To survive on air alone.
Side on air alone. Quick question. In the other room, when we were tussling with the dwarves, I didn't think to ask it at the time, but would the feathering around their armor and such make me assume that these are the same faction that we dealt with the first time we entered Dr. Tumez's tower?
Well, what strikes you as being particularly engaging about that is the individuals you encountered within Dr. Tumez's tower were dressed up as fanciful knights, kind of out of a fantasy book. These individuals are dressed up as fairly simple-looking mercenaries or guards, and or at least these individuals tied up are dressed up in simple leathers, but they're starved. They're really badly starved. As for the individuals in the other hall, they were dressed up in simple leathers as well, kind of akin to what these guys were wearing. But obviously they have more feathery garb. It's hard to say whether or not they were related to those who inhabited Dr. Tumez's tower, at least just by looking at them.
Okay, by a simple look, we can't tell. Then they don't
No.
look that similar. Okay.
No, they're not. They don't look like shining knights in armor.
To Tegan, I'm going to say, leave them be for now. Let's probe further and see what else we can find.
By the way, for what it's worth, in the distance you can
All
see
right.
what looks like some sort of step pyramid beyond the obelisks.
Oh, to the north?
Before we go that way, then I will peek around this corner and look to the south and to the east and see what's there first, so we can kind of get a view of what's going on here.
So the south goes into a thin hallway that curves back around to the west. On the east, in the wider hallway, it continues down into another thinner hallway that continues on to the east. You can also see there's a door to the north and a door to the to the east.
Let's check the southern route to make
You
sure.
want to go south?
I want to make sure there's nothing going to be behind us when we
Alright.
move forward from here.
All right. Do you need me to do another stealth check?
Not necessary if you're moving south.
Yep. Okay.
I assume
around
I
that
know
corner.
what's there, but I just want to be.
Okay.
Well, hopefully there's a door.
So there is a door right there.
All right. Shall we move up to the door?
Yeah, I'll follow
Sure.
you if they want to hang out. Well, just want to make
Alright.
sure there's only dead bodies in that room.
All right. I'm
tell-
going to move up to the door and listen to the door, see if there's anything on the other side at this point.
Okay.
Tell
you don't
Honeydew
hear
to move to like the central location in the middle of the hallway there.
command acknowledged. He will stop with you on his shoulder, and the one individual tied to the pillar looks up in surprise, and he steps back a little bit, but clearly he's not able to move or do much of anything.
I look at him and I give him the finger over the lips, like the shh, don't make a sound sort of thing. Let's see what he does.
Make an intimidation check with advantage. He will nod. Yes, understood.
Cool. That's it.
All right. So you don't hear anything at the door, Tegan. If you're going to peer
All right.
inside,
Yep.
there is
Let's go and look.
the bodies of two dead Kenku and nothing else.
Okay.
All right. Did we find anything on the bodies of the other two?
You found the arrows in the bodies of the other two.
Oh, you know what?
Well, let's go look in here and see if there's anything on these guys that's different.
Nothing different. There's 40 more arrows if you want to collect more arrows across the two.
I don't need him.
All right. And there's nothing on the walls or anything of interest.
Not aside from a couple of relief carvings of dwarves.
All right.
Okay. All right. Right. That's where we go then. You want to go right or you want to go north?
Your guys' call. What do you think?
Let's go right.
All right. Let's go to this door,
All right, all right, all right.
All right.
and we'll listen.
All right. Make a perception check.
I heard that dice drop.
And I was say, all I heard was bad news dice rolling.
You hear nothing.
Awesome.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The DC for that door was like 28. Uh, we asked Will to try his famous sneak and peek
Sneaky
trick.
peek. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll back up and let him do that.
All right. He will do so. I won't have to worry about making too much out of the checks. But peering inside the room itself, first off, there's a door that continues on. But inside, getting a good look, it looks like it's more or less intact. You can see that there are shards of rubble and broken pottery around here. There are also bits of bone that kind of litter the floor. It looks like it used to be a living quarters of some kind.
I think.
And for what it's worth, from this position in the hallway here, you hear to the north of you what sounds like heavy machinery.
You guys want to check out the room with nothing in it, supposedly?
Sure. It's living quarters.
Well,
so
it's
they might
never
have kept
stopped
their
us
stuff there.
before. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, look, I don't want to speak up, but Will's not here. Normally, he'd be the one saying that.
Yep. All right. So I'll step in.
All right.
I will follow. Oh shit! I didn't realize I was that far back. I will follow.
All right, Dr. Connors, you just hanging out back there with Honeydew? I couldn't hear you if you said something. Yeah, your sound's not coming through Discord. I see it lighting up in Discord, but I'm not hearing anything.
I'm not hearing it either.
Is he lighting up?
Yeah,
Lighting
he's
up in
lighting up.
Discord, but there's no audio.
Yeah, that's weird.
You might just relog Discord real quick. There is an update available.
While we're waiting on him, I guess I will go ahead and venture a little bit further up and kind of look around this corner. See if there's anything south of
Oh.
here.
Druid, I heard something but it didn't come through after that. Like the mic cleared, and then nothing.
Try saying something one more time. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, still nothing. All right. So, looking around the room in here, you don't find anything of interest looking around. There are bits of broken pottery. But go ahead and make an investigation check.
All right.
Yeah, there's nothing that you can make out.
Okay.
So there's really nothing in this room.
Not that you're able to see.
And I assume this is the south wall right here. There's nothing hiding below that.
No.
Okay, all right.
Just a south wall of this.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure it wasn't like something else there. Okay. While Drew's trying to figure that out, I guess I will go up this door and listen to see if I hear anything on the other side of this door.
You don't hear anything immediately.
Okay.
Test.
Yep, there you go.
There he is.
Hey.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey, can I move up to right here behind the party?
Sure.
Sweet, thanks.
So, as a general rule, go ahead and just drag yourself where you'd like to move, and I'll move the golem in correspondence.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right. But you don't hear anything at that door.
All right. Is everybody else going to come in, or are they going to sit over there and I'm just going to go through this door alone?
Well, I don't know we're going through the door, but we'll give it a shot. See if you can peek open, peek in, peer through.
All right. Let's open the door.
All right.
Can I make it through that door?
With the golem, yeah, the golem has to kind of squeeze around. You might have to duck your head a little bit, but you're able to move around in there if you wish. All right, opening the door leads into a long hallway on the other end, on the other end of which is another door.
All right.
Well, that hallway didn't look suspicious or nothing.
Well, let's hold up from keeping to go east, and let's backtrack a little bit, and we can
Okay.
come back to this.
All right.
Sound good to you
So
guys?
You want to go back to that north door then? To this one?
Yeah. Where
Oh,
the
okay.
machinery noise was coming from.
All right. Go back over here then.
All right.
Tuck, you want to open that door, or do you want me to open the door?
I can. Let's. Does the door open in or out?
It looks like it probably opens in.
Want to do a minor illusion for door?
Sure. Will
Sneaky
will
peek.
do his sleight of
Will.
hand.
You know, I can cast that as well, but I just never thought to do it because I'm not
Oh.
sneaky.
All right. Will
Will
does
opens
it very, very successfully, giving you an easy look inside the entirety of this room.
Oh.
But,
So, inside this room, you see there are two massive stone pillars that thread into holes within the floor and the ceiling of this large chamber. Moving through these stone pillars are crossbeams, also made of stone, that pierce into the pillar, and they form like spokes in a wheel. Next to one of the wheels are two figures in robes that are carrying whips, and they're whipping five sorry-looking humans that are pushing against these wheels, these crossbeams, with all of their might. And as the wheel turns slowly counterclockwise, you hear the grinding of enormous gears hidden somewhere deep beneath the stone floor.
Do I recognize any of these people pushing the wheels as captives from the original caravan?
It does not appear so, unfortunately.
Does
All right.
does Gering relay the information that these people are being
Yes.
whipped into? Okay.
With Will's sleight of hand illusionary door trick, he's able. You're all able to see
Okay.
this.
We must free those people.
Can we imply what this gear is being used for? Is there any sort of indication that would, or background knowledge that we would know?
Not without examining it a little bit closer.
Okay.
I vote we free these people.
All right.
Will agree.
There's just two captives, right?
so
5 captives, 2
Five
Yeah,
I mean,
captives.
two captors.
two captors. Sorry.
yeah, so we're still undercover, so we can prepare something. Can Kent see the left one from through the door, or does he have to step in?
If I move up to here, maybe it depends on what Kelly. I mean, it all depends on how Kelly wants to do it.
What are you trying to do?
He wants to know if I can see
from-
that guy
yeah.
from where I'm at.
Yes.
What would you like me to do?
Well, that's up to you. Whatever you think is best, either flambe him or hold him. I'm going to charge the bastard in front of me. And hopefully throw my staff before he gets a chance to ready himself, just as an initial hit. Surprise attack, if you want to call it.
Kent is going to cast Magic Missile from the ring
All right.
on this gentleman.
Okay.
And let me make sure I'm removing those from the ring so I don't say that later on. 1 second.
So when you do that, I will rush forward at the same time, or slightly before, so I don't get pummeled by the the magic missiles.
Well,
Okay.
they don't hit you. I control them.
So why don't all of you go ahead and make initiative rolls?
Okay. And I will roll that magic missile if you want.
As soon as it comes around to you.
Okay.
We'll do our surprise round through the normal initiative order.
Okay.
And we'll... All right. So, you're not noticed. Right now, it's the snake's turn.
Go, Snake.
Yeah.
Go speed, Snakey, go.
That guy's too far away. That guy is just just right.
Okay, so maybe then you can hit the far one.
I'll hit one of them. If we're
Or I won't hit him at all.
you miss.
Unfortunately, you miss.
Yeah. Well,
Snake crawls in and tries to get a bite on the priest here, but he reacts just in time. Moving his legs, completely surprised by this large snake coming out of nowhere.
yes.
Dr. Connors.
Dr. Connor is going to try and shoot the far one up top here.
All right. Now, 26 will hit. You said you wanted to expend a charge.
Yeah.
The Falcon doing 5 points of damage and knocking him prone. And your snake gets a reaction attack as well if you wish.
Oh,
Whoops.
No, your snake can't connect at all. In fact, the priest has his scimitar drawn at this point. But the other one, you watch as the spirit of the falcon flies from the bow, merging with the arrow, and almost looks like it pierces through the very body of the individual on the far end who falls prone.
All right.
All right. Will is going to bring out Danger Zone on the singing rapier. He's going to move 30. And he is going to shout at the individuals who are operating the wheel. Now's an opportunity. Flee. And they look ready to bolt. Kent, you're up.
all right. I'm going to step into the room, and this guy's prone out of action up here.
Yep.
Yeah, he's prone.
Okay, and this guy's up on his feet.
Yep, hasn't taken any damage yet.
Well, then he's going to take damage from the magic missile.
All right. All right, you're casting that from the ring, you said?
Yes, from the ring.
All right. Magic missiles fly from the ring as you outstretch your arm towards this individual and pellet him hard. He reels back, but is otherwise, of course, still standing.
All right.
They don't get to act this turn because they're surprised. Tuck, you're up next.
I'm going to run up to the prone one.
All right. You have advantage on the roll, so we'll count the 27 as your first hit. All right. And 17. So both attacks are going to land on him as you pellet into him for 18 points of damage. He looks pretty battered by this sudden assault, but he's otherwise still he's not dead. Honeydew will say, awaiting command,
Oh,
Right.
I get to tell it what to do?
if you wish.
Oh,
So I hit him with that third one too there.
Okay. So he's still alive, but very badly injured.
We'll do that for now.
All right. So if you want to send a command to this golem, I'll allow you to do it as a free action.
but on my turn or during its turn?
I'll allow you to do a free action on this turn. You need to do it as a free action on your turn in the future.
Okay. What's its movement so that I can judge?
30 feet.
Oh, all right. Honeydew, enter the room and go as far in towards the left guy as you can. So I think
Command
that's
could use
just
2
inside.
words.
Honeydew, move right in behind Will.
Command acknowledged. And he'll move inside the room with you still on his shoulders right next to Will.
Nice.
All right, Tegan, you're up.
All right, I am going to just double check my distance here. 5. Okay. I'm going to move here and Thorn Whip our little friend there.
All right.
That'd be advantage though, because he's still prone, wouldn't it? Or is
Oh,
that,
ranged
or is
attack,
that
so it's
disadvantage?
disadvantage.
Because yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
You grab Tuck around the feet, piercing thorns into his legs.
Sweet.
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 You don't pull him in, and you don't grasp it hard enough that it does any damage, unless you really want it to.
No, I'll let him go. I'll let him go this time.
All right, the commoners don't act this turn because they're surprised. Snake is next.
Third time's a charm. Ooh, no dice.
No dice. Nope.
All right.
All right. Dr. Connors, you're up next.
I'm gonna shoot the one that is not prone, the one off to the left here, with my bow. And you know what? Just having a heyday. Let's expend another charge.
All right. Okay. Yes, that will hit. And he watches the Spirit of the Falcon crashes into him, and that one is knocked prone.
Oh yeah, okay. And then I guess the snake tries to attack. Is that with advantage since it's prone, or is that? Not?
It will be with
I don't know how
advantage
that works.
since it's prone. Yes.
Okay, cool. And it still doesn't hit. Fucking snake, come on. As my free action, I'm gonna tell the golem, attack the one off to Honeydew, attack the one that I just knocked prone. There you go.
Acknowledged.
And I kind of shouted it in the mic, but I whisper it in his ear.
All right. Will, with his rapier drawn, playing Danger Zone, is going to move up right up next to the one you just knocked prone. He's going to stab at it with his rapier. Connecting for a good 10 points of damage. All right. All right. Kent, you're up next.
Yeah. Let me just see.
Well, I'm not casting another magic missile. Even with disadvantage, I'm going to cast Firebolt at the one on the north. And just pray I roll well.
All right.
Just pray you roll well.
12 is not going to connect. The firebolt goes wide and into the far wall.
Okay. I'm going to hang here.
All right. The priests are both going to get up on their feet, looking altogether upset, and they yell at the commoners, "If you wish to live, you will turn and attack." But they, with Will's persuasive argument earlier, it doesn't look like they're really willing to do so. Certainly not with a golem against them. But they themselves are going to ready them their own attacks, and I think they're just going to both fire a witch bolt, and I think we're just going to go ahead and fire that witch bolt at level 3. We're going to have the Howling Hatred Initiate on the left, with the one the Will's next to, that one's kind of engaged. That's good. Yeah, because it's a ranged attack. You know what? I take that back because you guys are too close.
Isn't that your favorite spell, Krell? When you're in the other game?
No,
that was
Toll the
Chaos
Dead.
Bolt.
Oh.
Toll the Dead's my favorite spell over there.
Oh, okay.
Chaos Bolt's the one I'd cast just for fun, but the Toll the Dead's the one that always seemed to hit.
All right. So you know what? No, because this is just going to be too much fun not to do it. They're going to go ahead and cast their witch bolts at the both of you, but because you're right next to them, it is going to be at disadvantage. But they're going to try it at level 3. So we'll start with the one against Will, and that's not going to connect. And then we're going to use one at level 3 against Tuck, and that's not going to connect. And they kind of curse themselves as their attacks don't connect. Tuck, you're up next.
I'm going to hit this guy. Whoops.
Yeah, you are. All right. That first strike is going to be enough,
Either way, yes.
as hard and heavy hitting as it is, that it takes that priest down.
And I'm going to move. I think, hang on, let me measure, but I'm pretty sure I'm fine there. But
You can get close enough to
I
throw it at
if I
him.
go this way,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Can I go here?
So the
Or
stone
here.
spokes, are kind of in the way, so you can't really not easily move over them. You can move there with relative ease.
Yeah. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to Kia.
If
Okay.
you don't kill him, I'm curious to see what the golem does.
All right, so 18. As you throw the staff, you actually watch as this last priest is going to, as a reaction, raise up his hands, and you watch as an arcane barrier forms around him. He is casting shield as a reaction.
Ooh, good spell.
The golem will go next. With Tuck still on it, or with Dr. Connor still on his shoulder, it's going to go.
I like how you move the snake up.
Just barely avoiding the snake, and it's going to go right up next to this one that you had knocked prone earlier, and raising both of its arms up, Honeydew is going to attempt to slam into him twice.
Get slammed, bitch!
All right, the 24 will connect, the 16 will not. His shield manages to hold up just enough to block the second attack. However, that first one slams hard into him, and he's barely managing concentration on. He's barely managing at this point. He's very, very low. Tegan, you're up next.
Okay, so I'm going to move 15 feet to there, and then 15 feet to there.
Sure.
So that'll put me here. And I'm going to Thorn Whip him.
All right.
Wouldn't he be coming at you?
You practically whip Will's instrument out of his hands.
No, I was trying to give the golem a attack of opportunity.
Oh.
Gotcha.
That's what I was after.
The commoners, these slaves who have been whipped, are going to take this opportunity to begin booking it.
Later, commoners.
If they don't, if they don't, are they all running in different directions, or are they all running?
They're running around away from the battle.
Okay.
Looks like they're trying to bolt for the door to get out of here.
Okay.
Snake's next.
Snakes never failed me before. So. Oh, all my tabs left. There we go.
All right, that'll do it. So your snake finally manages to catch onto the leg of this creature as he's trying to hold up his own shield, not noticing the snake wrapping around his legs and getting a hard bite into him. The poison coursing through his veins, he convulses and dies upon the floor. All right, assuming that you're not attacking any of these individuals who are fleeing, you'll be out of combat.
I'd like to stop one before they all bolt out the door, at least one of them, and say, do you know what the purpose of this of what you were doing here?
He says they were trying to break our will, turn us into them. The wheel there controls the flow of water within the moat.
There's a moat?
There's a moat
next to the pyramid.
Perfect.
So were you all right? Do you know if you were letting water into the moat or out of the moat?
He says, if turning it clockwise lowers the moat, turning it counterclockwise raises it. They were having us raise the water within the moat. For what purpose, I don't know.
Oh, well, we got a big golem that's going to make sure that moat gets lower.
Be my guest. I'm out of here.
All right. Before they leave, I tell them, go out, run west down the corridor and out the way. You'll see the dead bodies.
They'll look at each other nervously and they'll just nod and not looking a gift horse in the mouth. They're just going to bolt.
All right. I will be right back. I have to pee really bad.
And we neglect to tell them we closed the door behind us on the way in.
Honeydew.
All right. Well,
Spin this gear.
What direction?
I think you said counterclockwise is water down.
no, counterclockwise was putting water in the moat, and then clockwise was lowering the water out of the moat.
Push it clockwise, please, Honeydew.
Command acknowledged. It will move up next to the wheel and with ease begin to push against it. You can hear the mechanism turn below, and it sounds like water is being drained from the moat.
Perfect.
While we're doing that, can we search the bodies for anything useful?
Sure. Go ahead and make a perception check.
There you go.
All right. Across the bodies themselves, you find a total of maybe about 28 gold pieces. Aside from that, they have scimitars on their bodies that seem to be of fine make, as well as a couple of daggers.
Do I have
You
to
know
spend
what?
both
I
yours?
will take one of the scimitars, just in case it ends up being magical or something later.
Okay.
And today's it's better than my existing scimitar or something.
Are you gonna just hold on to it then, strapped to your belt or something?
Yeah,
Or-
just for now. I'm not gonna do anything with it. I'm just gonna carry it for
Sure.
now. Something I'll deal with later.
All right.
All right. Did the golem hit a point where this wheel doesn't turn anymore?
And do I have to spend both of them? For the golem, I guess.
So the one you've spun, I'm assuming, is going to be the one that the other ones were spinning. You're just spinning it in the other direction. Eventually,
Right.
it comes to a point where it doesn't look like it's able to spin anymore.
Okay.
Okay. Does the other one need to be similarly maintained, or how does that
You
work?
don't know. You don't know.
All right, let's try to spin the other one as well. See what happens.
All right. So, assuming that you command Honeydew to spin it counterclockwise, he will do so, and you hear water begin to drain even more, and eventually it comes to a click as well.
Sweet.
Okay. All right.
All right.
And
UFO.
yep. I guess there's nothing else in here for us. So
Honeydew,
What?
move back to the hallway.
we'll go back out
Command
here.
acknowledged.
And before we go to the right, I want to kind of peek around over here again. And are our friends still tied to the
Yeah,
obelisk?
they're still tied. They're still bony looking. They didn't look like they're moving much.
Okay. Just want to make sure that nothing's changed in that situation. All right.
Sure. So the hallway continues down quite a ways. It curves off to the north. You can also see a door on the opposite end of the hallway.
All right. I guess I'll do a stealth check and then I'll go peek around the corner.
Sure.
That didn't do anything.
Right.
So I'll just look around the corner. Back.
Alright.
We got a golem with us.
All right.
He's making enough noise anyway.
There's a door off to the north, and the hallway looks like it continues on to the northeast.
All right. I'll let the guys know that we have a couple more doors this direction and see what they would like to do. Mr. Connor, do you want to go east or do you want to go north?
It
Tuck's
doesn't
going to go
matter to
east.
me.
That sounds good to me.
Honeydew, move up to that door.
Designation, which door?
No, Honeydew, move up behind the party at this door.
Command acknowledged.
Sweet.
I'm going to drag Kent over there because I think he's still peeing. All right. You're in this hallway next to this door.
Let's give it a
Do a perception against the door. See
Sure.
what we hear.
You don't hear anything immediately.
All right.
Sorry about that, guys.
Then I suggest we open the door.
Now, I will add for your benefit with that roll, to the north you hear what sounds like cries of agony. But opening the door,
I've heard that before.
opening this door, it looks like it's another living quarters inside. You can see there's another door inside, and I'll save you some time. If you open up that door, it just looks like a privy.
All right, and
then there's another door on the other end of the living quarters here.
and there's nothing in those living quarters. Do you want me to do a perception check inside, or?
Not looking inside at the moment, no.
Alrighty.
What I missed, by the way? Anything?
Literally
nothing
nothing.
really.
We moved down the hall.
I will add
We-
that in case you missed it, you hear cries of agony to the north.
Oh, I heard that part. Okay.
We validated our 3 gentlemen over there tied to the obelisk are still there,
Okay.
and we turned the other pillar wheel in there, and it drained the water further.
Okay.
That's all you missed. And we're here at this door, deciding whether or not we want to go inside or go north.
You guys can check that, and I'll stay in the hallway. Honeydew, move up.
Command acknowledged.
All right, so we're gonna go check this north door.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Hey, perception check failed. I hear nothing.
You hear cries of agony on the other side.
So I'll let the guys know I hear basically the same noises we heard when we first entered this place.
Hey, Killy. If I walk up to here and just kind of poke my head around the corner here, do I see anything?
The hallway continues on to the northeast.
Okay. Let's kill us some crows.
All right. We'll open the door then.
All right. Peering inside the room inside, you see frescoes that cover 2 walls in this chamber. One of them depicts the creation of the doors by Moradin. The other one depicts a massive battle between orcs and dwarves. The far wall opposite of you is pocked and pitted with holes in the masonry, where you see gemstones that once surrounded the altar in the gemstones probably once surrounded the altar in the shape of an anvil. There's no gemstones in there now. Aside from some chipped remains of garnets and gates. In the middle of the room, more importantly, you see 3 bird creatures, more kenku, that are tormenting a group of shackled prisoners. One of them looks like he was in the middle of tormenting them. The other 2 look like they're mimicking the cries of the prisoners who are being tortured. I will add Tegan that none of them look familiar.
Okay. So we still haven't found anyone that I'm
Well,
actually looking for.
well, let me make sure of that. Hang on. So, yeah, no, none of them are.
Okay.
None of them are prisoners that are part of it. That's what I thought, but I just thought I'd make double check. All right, so there are prisoners being tortured, but the 3 kenku look up at you as you enter into the room, and seeing that you're clearly not part of the normal travelers around here, they move to attack. So go ahead and roll initiative.
So as you said, I was in the room. I figured I'll probably be there.
Yeah. All right, Kent, you're up first.
All right. Well, in that case, if I'm up first, let me just look at something real fast. I just want to see what I have prepared. I'm going to walk in the room. So here, that should be able to get there. And I'm going to cast grease on the area surrounding those folks.
All right, make that spell for me.
Yep.
All right.
It's a 10-foot cube, so I prefer to get the 2 rather than... Well, actually, either way. I get the 2 on the left or the 2... Yeah, those 2 are fine.
Okay. So grease appears underneath their feet. So they'll both make their dex saves.
Well, that one
One
did.
success.
One
that
fail.
one doesn't. All right. So one of them comically slips and falls prone within the grease that appears underneath his feet. Are you taking any additional movement?
Well, let's see. I was here, and moving to there, I would have moved 10, 15, 20. I can move one more step over.
All right. Achievement unlocked. All right. Snake is next.
Snake moves in. Snake attacks. Actually, are either of those prone? They aren't, are they?
One of them is in the
No.
grease and prone.
Oh, well then I'll attack the prone one.
All right. All right. Reaching out with a strong striking pose, you manage to land a hard hit on the creature, and I'm not going to bother with the con save because it wouldn't succeed. One solid bite into this bird manages to take it out.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh.
did you just roll in this?
Apparently, it didn't take last time. I thought I rolled it, but maybe it didn't go.
All right, so we'll say Tuck, you're up next.
What are these things here?
The individuals off to the right are all a bunch of prisoners. They look like mostly humans who have been bound up. They're torturing them were these bird creatures.
Right.
That green square is grease that Kent has summoned.
Yeah, if you run
Okay.
into that, you'll
I
have
will
to
go
dex.
here
Alright.
then. And I'm gonna hit the one on my right.
All right.
As soon as I find my thing here. What?
All right. One hard swing in, the creature reels back, but he's still standing.
2.
That second hit is hard and strong. It clocks him back and he falls right into the grease. He's out.
I'm gonna hit the one below me.
Manages to duck out of the swing.
One more time.
All right. Doesn't expect it to follow through, and you punch hard into its beak. It cries out in pain. It doesn't sound like it's a natural bird cry, though.
I am going to. If I push him back, can he take bludgeoning damage from the wall?
Sure, why not?
I will knock him back. Strength. Hang on. Yes, I think it's strength.
All right.
Yeah.
Go
It
ahead
is.
and roll one. Go ahead and roll 1d4 bludgeoning.
1d4. 1d4.
All right. He bludgeons hard into the wall as you push him hard into it. Like a school bully, you push this creature against the wall. All right. Tegan, you're up next.
All right. Well, just because I just want to see it work, I'm going to cast Shillelagh on my staff and then smack the guy to our left.
All right. All right. As you push this bird creature hard against the wall, he stumbles and reels just a little bit. As you cast your lily onto your staff and feel the normal power, you just kind of take it in very subtly with one hand, just bonk right onto this creature's beak, right over the head, in fact. And he just reels back, clutches himself in pain, and he falls over. All right. You're out of combat. Remaining within the room are these 5 individuals who have been bound. They look a little malaised. And one of them cries out to you. A man cries out to you. Please get us out of here.
All right. Let's release them and ask them how long they've been here. Who kidnapped them? How many other people have been enslaved?
The individual, the man who spoke earlier, says, I don't know how many others have been enslaved. We were drugged and kidnapped by individuals in Yatar, and you would know Yatar is a somewhat nearby city, at least a day's travel away. And he says, my wife was taken below by these cultists.
To that, I'll say we're going to do our best to free everyone here.
Thank you.
And let's dispense, and we'll tell them the way we came out, but tell them to hold up because we just want to make sure that the way we came in from is still clear.
I'll also take a minute to mention that we have a golem outside. Don't be alarmed. He's not going to hurt you.
They'll nod. They'll raise up their hands. You can see they're bound by shackles, and they'll say, "Please, can the Birdman there must have had the key. Can you get us out of these?"
Oh, let's search the Birdman.
All right. Again, you find on him the key as well as about 5 gold pieces, maybe.
All right, so that's so far tonight we found a total of 80 gold, right? We didn't find anything else so far. I don't think.
I think so.
Okay, I'll write that. Just write it in my little.
Yep. All right. We'll say that you get the key, you free the prisoners, and they follow closely behind you if you're going to peek out that same direction again.
I am, but until Miles gets back, I want to take a closer look at this room. Can we discern anything else about it? I mean, obviously we know this was kind of a religious type place. Seeing if there's anything out of the ordinary in this room.
Okay. If you're looking to see if there's anything out of the ordinary in here, go ahead and make an investigation check.
All right. Oh, shit. Well, hey, guess what? I rolled a 16.
Yep. So there's nothing that stands out as being particularly out of the ordinary of this room itself. You can easily tell that this is obviously a religious place, or once served as a religious place for the dwarves who live down here. Why it was converted into a prison for these individuals is not immediately known, and clearly this shrine has seen better days.
Is that an altar?
It is.
I just want to check the altar, see if I can see anything.
Okay. Inside the altar itself, you see there are holes carved into the altar, and within the altar itself, there are some remains of precious gems. However, they're chipped and worn away by time.
Okay. So it's just very old. Okay. All right. Okay. And I guess we're all gonna be to the south, and we'll have these guys follow along, assuming that we've freed them.
Okay.
And
I will save you some time, and the starving individuals tied to the obelisk are just not paying attention to anything else that's going on, so long as they're not disturbed. Kind of almost in a malaise, and if need be, you can easily escort the prisoners to the entrance.
Killy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just assuming we walk back over to this way and we're not running into anybody and we're easily escorting them.
Yep.
I know that the pillars were not magical in and of themselves, but do I get the impression that these individuals being tied here, other than what they said they're trying to join the ranks, do I get the impression that anything is being drawn from them or anything like that, like power, that type of stuff?
Make an insight check. You don't get the sense that there's any sort of magical malaise affecting them. From what you can gather, they're stubbornly being tied to these pillars and stubbornly trying to join this group, and you can't help but wonder if this test that they claim they're going through is really just a cruel trick.
If that's what I'm wondering.
And you can't help but worry that these individuals who seem so desperate to join this group are really just deliberately being starved to death.
Well, when the whole group gets down here and we get this one set of prisoners to safety, I'm going to untie one or ask Tuck to untie one because we know I have no strength.
The ones on the poles there or posts?
Yeah.
They will, as you approach, he will get up again. Again, he's still very much skin and bones. He says, "No, don't leave me alone."
At this, I'm going to say, because we all heard the conversation earlier, if you wish to survive on air alone, there's no reason that you would need to be maintained here on these pillars. You could be.
It is part of the test.
And who set you upon this path?
The masters.
Where are these masters?
Who are you?
The guy who's not going to untie you if you don't tell me where the masters are. Not complicated. Answer the damn question.
I'm back.
Make an intimidation check, Garen.
Sure. Wherever it is.
In your skills in the core page, alphabetically.
Jesus.
He looks back up at you with wide eyes, doing what he can to kind of stabilize himself against you, and he says, "In the temple beyond."
And I point north. That way?
Yes.
Done deal.
I'm going to say to Tuck. I'm going to say to Tuck. It seems a cruel and unusual punishment that these men are being tied up here. Why don't we end this facade and go pay a visit to their masters?
I agree. But I think we should check out the rest of the doors down here first. We have some left.
Okay. If you want to do that,
Just clean out the bottom before we go across this, whatever this is.
I'm down with that. Although I should mention the size of the blackness here, we could be doing that all night. Just heads up.
It's a large fucking place, man.
Yeah, but I don't think there's much left to the right. I think north is our next path. Might as well get the small areas left.
All right, but then now that everybody's back, those guys are going. We let them out. We told them which way to go, and let's check out the right tunnels then.
All right.
Oh, look at Drew just jumping up there.
Let's do it.
Druid, you fall into a pit full of mice who attempt to attack. I'm kidding.
No. Good thing I'm on a golem.
You know, one of these days, Killy's going to go back on the trap door kick there because he got us that first few nights.
He got you last fucking week. You fell in a hole last week.
Did
no,
he?
I jumped. They
Small
fell.
memory.
Who fell first?
Actually,
Will.
All I know is I did not fall at all.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it was
fell in
Will.
a hole.
I jumped after him.
oh yeah, you did jump in.
So-
You voluntarily fell in the hole.
Yes, I chose.
He landed on his feet. He was the only one who did. The other two landed on their ass.
All right, let's check out the door.
Okay.
Did we already ascend this door?
Yeah, but we couldn't hear anything. Crouch tried.
Oh, open the door.
All right. Peering inside the room, you see another bird that looks up at you curiously. Another kenku looks up at you curiously.
Threateningly?
Just curiously.
No, not curiously.
I'm going to walk up to him.
All right.
What does he do?
Just takes a step back.
I love the little.
I'm assuming this bastard can't understand me.
He will open his mouth, and you hear in a voice not entirely this bird's, but in a perfect human voice, or excuse me, in a smooth, silky voice. It will say, and it sounds female. It says, "State your name."
I was gonna say, did anybody see Predator 2 with Danny Glover? Want some candy?
Tuck.
Oh,
Friar Tuck. And yourself.
He will respond in your voice, "Tuck, Friar Tuck."
oh. So, Kelly, would it be fair to say that these things mimic everything that they've heard, and so the cries of agony and shit that we heard earlier were basically because they've tortured that many people?
Nice.
Well,
So, I'm going to walk forward again.
put that thing through a wall.
It steps back again. It says tuck, fire tuck in your voice.
Idiot. Dead idiot.
I'm gonna walk forward, and this time I'm gonna take my staff and tap him on the forehead, lightly,
As he crits.
and give him a shh with my other finger.
He raises his own finger in your voice. Shh.
Can I kill him?
The Kenku looks at the rest of you in the hallway, and then Tuck's voice says, "Can I kill him?"
Hit him. Do it.
Just as a heads up, I'm going to say to Will and Tegan, take care of this bird. I need to speak to Kurt and the golem alone for a second. And I'm going to have them come back out into this room here.
Ominous.
Could I
You
see
follow them.
when I walked in? Could I see the bottom of this room there, since there was an opening?
At the bottom of the room, the southernmost area of the room here is just.
That's just okay. Good.
Yeah, there's a door on the opposite side of the room.
So I'm gonna be very nimble and run around this guy
Mm-hmm.
and kind of stand between him and the door.
Okay. He just looks at you and he says in your voice, "Tuck, fire tuck." And he looks over at Tegan and he says in Friar Tuck's voice, "Can I kill him now?"
Okay. While they're doing this, I'm going to say to Kurt, we need to abandon this golem.
Yeah, sure. Where? And why?
2 reasons. Those things mimic voices perfectly.
Oh.
If one of them should overhear you talking to it, it will be as if a command is being given in your voice.
That's pretty smart. Okay, yeah, we can do that. I just don't know where to put this thing, or.
We'll leave him in the room with the
well, maybe.
the cogs there, or maybe the well room. Yeah,
yeah.
one of those two.
You're not there, Tuck.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I was going to
okay.
suggest the same
Alright.
thing, but yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, seriously, I wasn't. Well, actually, my suggestion was going to be have him guard the front door, but
We
Alright,
could
while
put him
they're
in the
doing
cock room
that,
and not
I'm
let anyone
casting
lower.
this
our-
on my staff. I'm walking up here, not saying a word, and clocking that guy in the head.
All right, you clock him across the head. He begins to pull out a scimitar and saying in Tuck's voice, "Can I kill him now?" He's going to swing his short sword, actually, rather, at you. And miss.
Can I hit him now?
Go ahead.
Or do we
make an
roll
attack
initiative?
Nah, just go make an attack roll. There's only one of them. He doesn't have a lot of hit points. All right, you take
And
him
there
out.
they are.
All right, you knock him out.
Okay.
and Killy, I'm sorry if I ruined your fun for later.
What, with Golem?
Yeah.
Who says you haven't?
Well, hopefully none of those bird things has been around.
La 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 la.
Alright, now we're done with that thing. I'm gonna go back here and
Alright.
see what's going on with these guys.
Let's search this room there. I don't know if there's anything around, but
Hey, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go drop this golem off in the cogs room and give him a few instructions.
Oh.
Honeydew, take me to the cogs.
Command acknowledged. All right, Tuck, searching around the room. First off, on the Kenku itself, you actually find he's hiding a perfectly carved sapphire, which is worth maybe about 50 gold. But otherwise, within the room itself, you don't find anything.
okay.
Hang on, perfectly carved sapphire, you said? 50 gold?
Did we search the room above us right now?
I don't
Like
think.
that little closed room too?
That's a privy.
Ah,
Alright. Okay. I'll make my way back over to Tuck, and assuming that our Mr. or Dr. Connors doesn't run into any problems, we will wait for him before we continue.
I'm gonna listen at the door while he's walking back.
Okay. Make a perception check. All right, you don't hear anything. I should clarify. You feel as if the area in the outer side, on the other side of this room, is safe.
So what's sorry?
You don't hear anything. You think you're safe.
Okay.
Wander through.
Well, we're all here, so open the door.
All right.
Oh, is that what you told him, Druid?
Yeah. Yep.
So, all right, he stays in the room and guards the gear spear. That's what you're doing. So first off, you see the hallway continues off to the north, and there's another door up to the north. You also see this leads down into some sort of tunnel that continues on to the west somewhere.
Let's not go down the tunnel
Wait,
yet.
to the west or to the east?
Well,
Sorry,
we're
Duh.
looking at a map, like what do you call it? So it could theoretically be the west. I mean,
well,
it goes
I
around
was
and down to the west just to fuck with you. No.
Okay. That's why I was asking. Is this like, does it curve or that's
It's
why I
fine.
was asking the question.
No, it goes straight east. It goes straight east.
Okay.
All right. So let's go check out the upstairs portion. Would you say, guys, or the northern section?
Sure.
I would go
Good
up
to me.
here.
Yeah.
Let's go that way. Check this door. I will listen at the door.
Okay. We'll go ahead and drag yourself over to where it is you're listening.
I already am.
Not on
I
our
don't
screen.
see you.
I
You're
think-
still sitting at the door.
I still see you sitting down at the south there.
Yeah.
Oh, I see you guys down there.
Are you?
Oh, my connection's
there?
been interrupted. All right.
Let me reload.
Okay.
Okay.
People
Now,
are
whoa,
moving.
whoa. I just missed Gary entirely.
And he's gone.
Give me a minute.
All right. Garen, with that perception roll, you do hear voices on the other side of that door. They're muffled and you can't quite make out what they're saying, but there are voices on the other side of that door.
Can I peek around the corner to see what's up the hall?
You know what? Let me rejoin myself because I don't see Gary at all.
I don't see myself at all either, and I'm back in the game.
Yeah, I don't see
It's because
you.
you were
Oh,
access
oh,
to
oh,
stairs on
yeah.
top of it. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
Yep.
So, all right. The hallway continues up to the north and curves back around to the west.
Let's go up the hallway first. There might be a door on the opposite side too.
All right.
I'm gonna peek around the corner again.
All right. The hallway continues on to the west. You can see there's at the end of the hallway another door. It also curves along to the north, and on the north it looks like there's some ultramarine flagstone to the north.
I'd say let's clear the room.
All right. Your call from the south or from the north?
I'd say south just in case there's something in that flagstone.
Okay.
Do you not want to approach them from both doors so they can't escape?
Oh, maybe. But yeah. Hang on. Let me go to this corner here. Can I peek around the corner?
Make a stealth check.
Sure. Damn it. Hang on. My character sheet disappeared.
The character sheets I'm working with disappeared too. Okay, so you stealthily peek around the corner. And peering around, first off, you can see the passageway continues on to the west somewhere. But more importantly, working next to the plaza in here, the plaza itself is made out of an ultramarine marble, and to the east end there is fallen masonry and stone. Working on that fallen masonry and stone is an individual wearing a torn vest and ragged pantaloons, and some interesting looking garb, and he kind of looks I can find the character sheet for him.
Like a Djin. No.
In fact, there it is. Kind of like this. In fact.
Oh, you were so close. A Jinny, not a Djin.
Plural is Djin. No.
And it looks like it's just working on the masonry and stone on the east there that's been kind of crumbled into dust.
Hmm.
On the west, you do, peeking around, it's kind of hard to make out. You do see a couple of pillars that continues on to the west.
Okay. I say we clear the room from the bottom door.
Yeah, I
All right.
agree.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Really?
I'm fucking stupid.
Really?
Jenny,
Good grief.
Jenny, make my sword.
Really? Is the door open in or out?
It looks like it opens in.
Damn it. We all ready?
Actually,
The-
correction. I'm sorry, correction. It opens both ways, it looks like.
Oh. You want
One of those
a
doors wink.
sneaky door trick?
All right. We'll try it if you wish.
Yeah, let's try it.
Oops. We'll count to 18, and it's going to be enough that it does the trick. But peering inside, you can see 6 individuals who are just kind of lounging in the room talking to one another. They look like they're in the rough leathers of some of the other individuals you've seen. That being said, they don't look like they're starved or beaten or anything of the sort. They look to be in relatively good health and everything.
My
What the
God,
hell's that
what is
weird-
the A14?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. What the hell's that big A14?
Whoops. That's for me. That's not for you.
No, I figured.
Um,
Would an insight check? Well, I surmise if it was Area 14. No, I'm only kidding.
I'm gonna close the door again.
Make a stealth check.
Stealth or sleight of hand?
Stealth.
Oh,
Oh,
there we go.
You silently close the door.
Okay, let's leave them alone. There's no point.
They don't have anything I want.
And can I get to the other door without him seeing me? Because he's around the corner.
Probably.
all right. Are
Can
we
try
going
the-
up there then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say we all come up here.
All right.
And we try and do the sneaky trick on the door again.
All right. We'll save some time and peering inside this room. By contrast, that one appears empty.
There's A14 again. I'm going to slip inside quickly and search the room.
Okay. Searching around, you don't see anything of interest.
Okay, good.
Looks like living quarters that are currently unoccupied.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Before we move forward, is it
Yeah.
wise to leave an enemy force behind us?
What do you want to do? Just open the door and throw a fireball in there?
Give him that old fireball. Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid it might be loud, but I don't know. It doesn't say it's necessarily loud. But
It'll be loud. I will make it loud.
Well, we've been jumping around with a golem the whole time. I don't know if it really matters at this point.
let's deal with them first. I suggest.
Or since we know there's no little mimicking birds, you want to go get the golem and rush in there and have the golem destroy them?
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
All right. The golem is patiently guarding the 2 wheels here.
Hey, honeydew. I'll climb back up. Honeydew, go down this hallway, and then I'll direct him back
Acknowledged.
over to here.
All right.
I'll say, honeydew, knock on the door.
Acknowledged. Bong, bong, bong. He breaks the door open, startling everybody inside. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay.
Do you want to use the golem? Yep.
Did I not roll? Oh, I got me connected.
I didn't see one for you.
Oh, I thought I hit it.
Dude, that golem.
That's what happened
initiative is
earlier.
ass.
All right. So, yeah, you're all set then. All right. Snake is first. The door to this room has just been blown open.
Snake ascends. I'm gonna attack that really close one.
All right. 12 does not connect. He manages to duck out of the way before the snake manages to connect.
Yes. Can I see anyone as Dr. Kirkconnors through this door if I'm on this shoulder here?
Can you, I'm sorry, what? See anybody through the room on the
Yeah,
shoulder?
Yeah, yep.
You can.
Okay, cool.
All right. Dr. Connors, you're next then.
Yeah, I'm going to try and shoot the same one the snake just tried to bite.
All right.
Just a normal attack. Not the charge one. Does that
All right.
20 connect?
20 does connect, and it pierces into, what's the 6 for?
I
for the
accidentally. I
understanding.
accidentally.
Okay. All right. So the short, you fire the shot into him. He reels back a little bit as the arrow pierces the leather armor he's wearing, but he's otherwise still standing.
After the snake attack, there is he still up?
Nope, that'll do it. Hurt. Blah.
All right.
All right, one down. Will is going to swing around and noticing that these guys aren't taking a whole lot to go down. He's going to poke at one in there and he's going to say something along the lines of shoes untied, casting vicious mockery against the near one. Unfortunately, he crits. The vicious mockery has no effect. Kent, you're up next.
Well, can I squeeze past the golem?
We'll say it counts as difficult terrain, but yes. He's large enough that you could probably maneuver around him.
What's there, 5 guys left in there? Let's see.
Yep.
Oh,
Hmm.
I instructed the golem to attack. I don't know if that was clear. I'm sorry.
Command acknowledged.
Got it.
I'm just looking to see what I have here real fast in my stuff. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move past him, and I'm going to cast Grease in covering this, and this. That should be a 10-foot cube, so I will cast Grease right there, so it should cover that area where these 2 gentlemen are.
So you're thinking like this?
Down 1 square. Or down 1. Yep, there you go. Thank you. And
Done.
I will roll that so you can roll, what do you call it?
Dex saves, I believe.
I believe it is, and it should be a 15 that you have to beat.
All right. The close one, the one that Will tried to vicious mockery, will fall prone. The other one is still on his feet.
Okay, and I don't know. Now, I'm probably stuck here, or because I started on that side of him, and I can only move 30 feet. So,
You have maybe about 5 more feet of movement trying to squeeze around the golem.
well, I'll tell you what, I will move up to here just so other friends can get in.
Okay. So first off, the one that fell prone is going to get up back on his feet. And they're going to shift out of the grease that you had created. And this one moving closer up to the north. This one shifting over. And all of them pulling out daggers are going to chuck... Well, seeing their compatriot go down from the snake, I think they're all going to chuck them at the snake. And as they do, you can't help but notice they seem like the wind is carrying them in a particularly strong motion as the daggers find their way over towards the snake. the wind is guiding the daggers. So the first hit be an 11, which I don't believe beats the AC.
Get fucked. No, it doesn't.
The second 21, that should beat the AC.
And
A dagger cuts through the snakes. The third one will cut into the snake. And the fourth one will also cut into the snake. The snake misses one of the daggers but gets pierced by the other 3.
and you said that it appears otherworldly, like magically enhanced. You said?
The daggers themselves don't appear. I got one more attack in here, don't I? One,
Yes,
two,
you
three.
do.
All right,
Yeah.
so
Well, there's the one behind a wall. It looks like
Yeah,
he's
that
not.
might be a little difficult unless it's not a full wall.
Sure.
he'll peek out from around the wall, check it, and then duck back behind the wall.
Sure. That is
So the 14 doesn't hit. So the daggers themselves don't look like they're magical in nature, but it looks like after throwing them, the initiates are doing something to guide the force that the wind that is throwing them.
like an air attack of sorts.
Sort of.
Gotcha. All right.
Tegan is up next.
All right. If I move to here, can I see this guy?
Oh,
You'll kind of have to maneuver around the golem.
Okay. So, all right. I'll go ahead and do that and move to inside.
All right, that'll be your full movement.
And now I can see him for sure, right?
Yep.
All right. Gonna hit him with ice knife.
All right.
ooh, that's a good ice knife. Because everybody there is taking damage.
You're hitting the one in the middle.
This guy.
Right.
Yep.
All right.
So that should get him and the one behind the wall and the one.
Yeah. Correct.
Yep.
So that's why I figured. All right. So range spell attacks 17. So 17 will pierce into his hide, and he watches the ice knife manages to pierce into a critical organ, possibly the heart, as he falls back. The ice will then shard and explode, and the other 2 nearby will make their dex saves. That's 1 success. That's 1 fail. All right. So the one behind the wall takes 8 points of cold damage. And he's badly injured, but is still on his feet.
Okay. And just as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Shillelagh on my staff for the next round.
All right. Tuck, you're up next. The doorway's kind of clogged up.
Can I get by it all? No.
I will say that you can get around the golem, but Tuck's, or Tegan rather, is kind of blocking the door.
How high is the door?
That's a good question. I probably want to check that. The door, 3 feet wide, and no, the gap is about the door's about iron hinges. You know what? We'll say that there may be about 6 feet high.
Can I
Something
jump
to
over
figure
Tegan?
out. You know what? I'll allow you to try it. Make an acrobatics check. All right, we'll allow it if you want to.
And I would land on the table,
All right.
and then hit the one to the north.
All right, done. Good. All right. So let me move in there, and all right, you hit the one to the north, and you badly bludgeon him across the nose. He is looking back at you, kind of angry. The second follow through is enough that it takes him out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over here then, and I'm gonna hit him.
All right. 22 will connect. You bludgeon him hard in the nose. He reels back with a pretty badly bloody nose, and he's still standing though.
Hit him one more time.
All right. And that'll do it, actually. So you take him out. Yeah, these cannon fodder aren't particularly powerful.
So I'm gonna move over here.
All right.
Golem's
So-
turn. Did we not roll Will? Or Will go? Oh no, Will went.
I have 50 feet of movement. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I'm good.
Yeah, all right.
That's only
Alright.
like 30.
Yes, you are.
The golem will respond. Command not able to be completed.
Humbug.
Too many targets. Or path not available. Pathing not available.
Not available. Goddamn hunter pets.
Heroic leap is something that I've suffered that command for many years. All right, Snake is up next.
Snake's gonna move up on top of this dead body here and try to attack the live one over here. 10 feet
All
away.
right. Done.
I was
And
going to say,
bite.
especially when trying to jump across a night well. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I had to.
You take 60 points of psychic damage from your all right, so the snake bites in and is enough that the poison causes him to convulse and die. You have one hiding behind the wall. Dr. Connors.
You know what? They've got it handled in there. You guys don't need me. I'm just gonna stay right here.
All right. Will's going to hold his action, shifting around just behind the golem. Kent, you're up next.
Oh. Well. I'm going to ready. I can't ready a cantrip, can I?
You can ready a cantrip. You can just call it readying an attack action.
All right. Well,
You have to specify what cantrip it would be, though.
firebolt and at him, but I'm not poking my head around that wall first.
Okay. All right. So with that action ready, he'll poke his head out. As he does, go ahead and make your attack roll with the firebolt. Will's also going to use his readied action to cast Vicious Mockery.
All right.
All right. 12 doesn't connect. It goes into the far wall. Vicious Mockery does connect, which does affect him. He was already badly injured by the ice knife, and that's actually going to be enough that it takes him out. You're out of combat.
Okay.
Let's search the bodies.
And the grease should disappear. It only lasts for a minute.
All right.
This use of honeydew is a big honey don't. I got honey potted there. All right, I'm gonna walk honeydew
not acknowledged.
back over here.
Do you not want to hold on to him until we kill the genie up there?
Oh yeah, okay. No, keep him here. Sorry, I forgot. Good call.
Well, we might not necessarily have to kill the genie. We don't know if he'll attack yet. Well, I mean, we'll know right away if he does, but...
Hey, we could just be matchmakers here. Maybe the genie was just looking for a golem to love, and the golem needs a little, someone to protect, and they'll be a happy ever after.
There you go.
You don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com.
All right.
All right. Do we search this room, or we get moving?
Make a perception check.
All right. Let's get this over with.
All right. Across all the bodies, you find maybe about a total of 75 gold. Aside from that, they have their feathered armaments that they have equipped, and some simple daggers.
All right, I'm just writing down the gold. Well, I'm not packing all the daggers up.
And nothing else in the room, right? There's nothing on this desk back here?
No.
Okay. All right. Then I'm out of here.
All right. Okay. Back to the north we go. I'm not going in there first this time.
All right. So we're going up here to the genie now.
That would be my guess.
So we get ambushed by something else that Kelly just rolled.
That was me moving a fork around.
Oh.
All right.
Those
so
were dice. No.
You make your way up to the north. On the back of Honeydew.
All right. Yeah, I'll brave it. I'll kind of wander into here, kind of see what he kind of does.
As you wander in, the reverberations of the golem kind of echoing out through the north here. You watch as this genie turns around to look at you, looking down at you, and he says, "You don't appear to be with the other strangers inhabiting the temple here. Tell me, who are you?"
My name is Tegan, and I'm with my companions here. May I ask who you are?
He says, "I am Atair."
And then I'll
Unwitting,
follow.
he'll follow through. "I am Atair, unwitting servant."
You say you're a
Please,
servant.
yeah.
You're a servant to who?
"I was once a servant to the king of the dwarves down here.
And now?
Who binds you
I am-
now?
I am bound to the will that he gave me, and have been for 101 years. I am to complete a single service. He tasked me with keeping this palace in good repair. It is insulting to keep a palace in good repair for over 100 years, not inhabited any longer by the original inhabitants anyway."
It definitely does seem cruel. Is there anything we can do to help you complete this task so you can maybe venture on to greener pastures?
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
With it, sure. Of course not.
I didn't even see it roll.
He looks back at you, clearly curious by the offer, but he says, "What are your plans in here?"
Honestly, we're here to free some captives that we know were brought down here that are friends of mine, and maybe take out the existing inhabitants.
He looks at the rest of you and he says, "And what do the rest of you hope to gain?"
I would like to just kind of pull Will aside real fast. And now I know Will has a good, like I know he knows everything about Durgan in the Black.
Mhm.
But does he know anything about this dwarven temple per se? Because I think you did mention who had previously lived here, didn't you?
Will shrugs his shoulders. He says, "I'm afraid I don't know that."
Damn insight or history. Do I know anything about this place?
Make a history check.
One second. History. History.
Okay. You know that the dwarves in Belsamir created the ruins that inhabit most of the rest of this area here. Details surrounding the old dwarven ruins, what caused the dwarves to flee, is not 100% clear. The generally accepted rumor is that eventually the dwarven ruins got constantly overrun by orcs and goblins and their natural enemies, and they just could no longer sustain keeping the ruins in good repair or inhabiting them. At least that's the generally accepted theory. Now, as far as the genie itself, why he's here, any details surrounding him, you have no idea.
Hmm. Do I get the impression that this genie is malevolent?
In what way?
Like if he were free, would he seek to do harm? Probably not by
Mm,
looking at him. Probably not by rolling anything, I would imagine. But he
you
doesn't
can
see.
make it
Mhm.
from what you know. Genies typically originate from different elemental planes. They're creatures of elemental, and they are capricious and greedy and have a sense of self superiority to themselves. So they tend to consider themselves um, superior to most mortals, especially because of their own personal magical prowess. However, they have a nasty habit of being bound to magical items, and those who possess those magical items can tend to command the genies and their tasks and what they do. In the most extreme of cases, genies can grant wishes, for instance.
Um. Okay. With that in my head, um, I'm I'm going to ask the genie straight up, why did the dwarves bind you here or give you this command? Uh, oh shit, I'm just trying to think of how else I would phrase that. It it seems like a bit of a punishment.
He says, "It is an insult. A creature of my power bound to repair that damned temple for all eternity."
Do you only follow the? Do you currently only follow the dead dwarves command, or does another hold your binding?
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. With advantage.
Hopefully yours is better than mine was.
Well, let's see.
He looks at you and he says, "Those who inhabit the temple now, they're led by a self-dubbed queen, an elf called Alisi Katanoth, a name that you guys were familiar with based on correspondence you got from Dr. Tumez's temple and the inhabitants, the knights who inhabited that place first." Atair continues, "She possesses a horn that binds me to the mortal plane. If you can coax her into using the horn to summon me, she may give me a new duty. Once I fulfill that duty, I can return back to my own immortal, to my own elemental horn."
I'm going to ask him if she no longer possesses the item. Is it whoever possesses the item that you would have to follow, or that could release you?
He says, "If the horn is destroyed, it will release me from it."
Okay. Can you give us just can you give us an idea of what we will be facing to get to her?
He says, "I'm afraid I do not know. I have been relegated by my tasks to work within these ruins."
At this, I'm going to say we will do our best to find said horn. If there's any help you can give us as far as information other than what you've already given us, it would be greatly appreciated.
He says, "The queen resides in the temple beyond," and he points to your west, where you see a large pyramid that once was surrounded by this moat of water, but has now been drained.
And real fast, obviously they're all here. They can hear this. Um, do we see anything odd in this room here that like anything out of character or anything out of place, perception wise or anything?
Nothing that stands out to you as being immediately odd, only that it's been in a state of terrible disrepair, and it looks like the genie's been relegated to just doing what it can to keep up appearances.
All right, my turn for questions. Hey, Mr. Genie Man.
Atair,
Atayor. I know I butchered that just now. Do you know anything about this amazing golem that came out of a well? It had some dwarven markings on it. Maybe you know about that.
he says, "The dwarves use those golems to guard their own temples. I do not know how to command it efficiently. It seems you have got the hang of it all the same."
All right, just checking. Thanks, man.
All right.
Oh, Mr. Atayer, do you have a map of this place so we don't have to guess where we're going?
He will shake his head and no.
Worth a try. Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? Any questions that I couldn't think of?
I don't have any more questions for the genie, but I find it kind of interesting that he's still doing a task.
That was set forth before him 100 years ago? Or
Right,
hundreds of
but
years ago?
and the person who has his binding now hasn't done anything with him yet.
I was thinking that too, to be quite honest, because the task that she could give him next is to kill us.
Right.
That was my thought too, but I don't know. We don't have a rogue. Nobody's sneaking the thing off of her. You know. By the way, this is currently out of game. I just,
But that's my only concern. I have no other questions for him. I say let him go back to his task, and we'll do what we can to set him free or whatever later.
we'll see what we can do to help.
I appreciate it. Thank you, my friends.
All right. So are we heading west?
Yep.
All right, gentlemen. Let's go. Get ready to get our asses kicked.
Are we crossing this bridge? Cool.
I'm going to.
Honeydew, let's cross the bridge.
All right. So the moat itself is drained of water. And as you move across the bridge, a couple of things. You get a really, really good sense of the better part of this room. And I'll go ahead and just reveal things.
And that's when the blue dragon pops out of the water.
So first off, on the far northwest, there is another row of colonnade pillars that continues on somewhere up to the north. But surrounding the pyramid itself is a thin passageway that kind of curves around, and it leads to a set of double doors. The pillars themselves are engraved with names and the likenesses of notable dwarves of the past. However, there are kind of broken pieces of wood and stone that litter the floor. More importantly, at the on the top of the very pyramid itself, at the very, very top, perched upon it, you see a large, almost draconic-looking creature. And that kind of looks
Did I not see this? Oh.
like this.
Oh.
And sitting on
cool.
top of it, you see, riding on top of this creature, is another individual who looks. I don't know if he even has a. Yeah, he does. Does he? No, he doesn't. Anyway, you see another individual on top. You see if the person riding the wyvern itself is decked out in what appears to be wizard's robes, and he calls down from atop the pyramid and he says, "You state your purpose.
Me.
State your purpose."
Oh.
We are the Diamond Bears, and we seek the prisoners.
You are but intruders. Come, girl. And the wyvern roars, and he begins to soar down in your guys' general direction. And I need you all to roll initiative. Before you do that, though, I do want to point out one more thing. All of you hear below you, and you see another dwarven golem just kind of patrolling the moat below.
Can you move Honeydew up here with me?
Yes.
Sweet.
It's like, please move Honeydew up here with me.
All right. So I need everybody to go ahead and roll initiative.
All right. Oh, this ought to be a bad round. Oh, I don't remember if wyverns have breath attacks.
All right.
I think they have tail stings. Can't remember.
Okay.
There are pillars to hide behind, at least.
By the way, before he flies down, you see him cast quick spell. It looks like mage armor.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
All right. Will, or no, not Will.
Can-
Snake is up first.
Can you roll the golem's initiative?
Yes, I forgot.
Well,
All right.
if you're telling the golem to move as a free action on your turn, wouldn't it just be on your turn? Or no?
So it's flying out in your general direction. I'll say for your benefit that it stands kind of in front of or it's flying kind of up in front of the double doors, but the wyvern and the rider are actually sitting at about 40 feet above the rest of you.
Right, so I can't attack it with my snake. Got it.
Probably not.
All right, all right. Does this golem look hostile?
Not at the moment.
I will move up to here, or Nagini will, rather, and ready an attack on the golem should it try to attack someone.
I will add for your benefit that the golem itself is actually about 30, maybe 40 feet below the rest of you within this moat that has been now drained of water entirely. So it's way down.
Oh, I see. So we're in like a high up bridge.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck to do. I guess I'm just not gonna stand with everyone else so that I don't get fireballed. So I'll move over here, I guess. There you go.
All right.
Look at the difference between the highest initiative roll and second. Holy shit.
Will's going to move over and looking at the wyvern, he's going to say, "You should drop your rider." Or no, I guess compulsion doesn't do that. You know what? He's going to, instead of compulsion, he's going to try to polymorph the wyvern into a rat. No, a mouse. Mouse is less intimidating. Unfortunately, the wyvern will crit on his wisdom save. Will silently curse to himself, thinking that he missed a perfect opportunity. Kent, you're up next.
Oh, I just need to check a range. Is the wizard still riding him?
The wyvern, yes.
Or is the wizard still riding the wyvern? I meant to say, sorry.
He's a wizard riding a wyvern wizard, if you will.
Yeah, I'm going to point at that wizard with my wand of wonder.
Good man.
Well, I figure you can counterspell everything else I've got, so. And I'm going to roll a D100.
Yes.
Dude, I had my dice roller up.
45. You cast a lightning bolt.
Nice.
So, you raise out and watch as a large streak of lightning emanates from the wand, and it blasts out from you straight to the rider. So it's going to hit the golem, it's going to hit your ranger, it's going to hit Tuck, and unfortunately Tegan and the snake are just out of range of it.
Sorry, gentlemen.
But I'd like you to go ahead and roll. It's going to be, I believe, 8d6, and I need the Tuck and Dr. Connors to roll a dex save.
8d6.
Tuck, you take no damage because you're special. Dr. Connors will take half damage. The golem.
Roll.
The golem will take full damage. All right. So 24 total. So Dr. Connors, you take. Yep, Dr. Connors, you take 12 lightning damage. The golem will get shocked, taking the full 24. The wizard.
I missed it. Why am I taking this much?
Lightning bolt.
You're right in front of
from
Kent.
the wizard.
We're right in front of
Yeah,
Kent,
it's my bad.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well, if he's aiming up in the air, am I still gonna get hit by it since this guy's 40 feet in the air?
well,
Line in
you're,
front of you.
you're
Straight
like
out from the wand.
right in front.
You're also riding on top of a large golem, so.
All right.
All right.
Gentlemen,
so,
I'm sorry, the safety was not on.
Kent.
All right. So I think the wizard's going to take the full effect as he gets walloped by this thing. And the wyvern will also take the full effect
Okay, and
Still not a bad shot.
I'm going to move to here.
All right. The wizard is going to shift around just a little bit on the wyvern itself, and raising up his own hand, he is going to shoot his own lightning bolt down a line. So,
Oh, he had a way better roll than I did.
Tegan, Snake, Golem, and Will need to make dex saves. This Golem will fail. Crow will count to 18. You succeed, you take half damage. Nagini saves, taking half damage. Whatever half damage of 34 is.
17.
Thank you.
That was a spell he cast, not a item he
That was-
used, correct?
That was a spell he cast. So you're gonna try to counterspell it or something?
I would like to be honest with you,
Right.
as a reaction.
You need a yes or no.
Yes,
All right. So counterspell, I believe, works against up to level 3.
it does, and I think hold on, I'll link it for you. 1 second. Using a force, the interrupted spell has no effect if its level is less.
Yeah. The creature is casting a spell 3rd level or lower. Its spell fails and has no effect. So you raise your hand, counterspell it. Now let me check. You are too far away to counterspell it.
Oh, I am. Damn it. Fuck. Sorry, guys.
So
I was expecting fireball, not lightning bolt.
the golem's taking the full, 34?
Mm-hmm.
The golem is reared back. Dr. Connors, you're still holding on. Will needs to make his dex save. He's taking half damage. As this lightning bolt courses through a significant number of the party. The wyvern is next. With rider in hand, he is actually going to fly down 80 feet. He's going to fly down with rider in hand. Right up next to Tegan. And he is going to slice at you twice with his open claws and then follow through with its stinger. So the first attack against you with its claw is going to be 17. Taking 14 slashing.
Yep.
The second attack is going to be an 11, which you managed to dodge out of the way. It follows through with the stinger, and that's going to connect.
Yep.
And 10 points of piercing damage, even on a half save, you're going to take 10 points of poison damage. Your druid falls unconscious. Tuck, you're up next. This creature's not low enough to the ground that, with the wyvern anyway, you can attack it straight on if you wish.
I'm gonna get his.
Was that I was going to get as close as you can?
I'm thinking here.
Guys, I really apologize about the lightning bolt from the wand.
It's fine.
I'm gonna come as close as I can. I'm gonna attack the rider, not the wyvern.
All right. So in order to get to the rider, you're going to have to kind of run up the wyvern itself to get at the rider.
Deal.
So I need you to make an acrobatics check with disadvantage
Oh,
because the wyvern's hostile to you. The good news is, the bad news is you can't get to the rider. The wyvern's blocking your way. The good news is the wyvern's not going to, get any sort of extra attack on you.
So 2 ranged attacks on the mage then.
All right.
Oh, oops. Hang on. I didn't take disadvantage off.
Okay.
Do you want to roll again or?
We'll count the 28. So this guy does not have shield. All right. So the 28 and the 18 will connect, both of them. Right.
And I'm going to punch the wyvern.
All right. So the wizard's not looking great. You go in for a punch against the wyvern, and you actually do manage to connect. The wyvern reels back and is looking kind of hurt, angry.
One of the two. Screw it. Hit him again.
All right.
And I will try and push him 15 feet back, see if it knocks the rider off.
All right. Strength check.
Yep. Oh,
No dice.
close though.
Did that tie? I'm curious.
Your
14.
DC's not that high. Yeah. All
14.
right. All right. Dr. Connors, you're on top of Honeydew. Yep.
I'm going to shift over to here, by the way.
All right.
All right. I'm going to whisper to Honeydew. Honeydew, attack the wyvern. Break its wings.
Break its wings.
And then I'm going to put Hunter's Mark on the mage,
All right. Done.
the wizard, and attack it with my bow, expending a charge.
All right. All right. 18 will connect. So you rolled a 6 there. It's going to be the wolf. It watches the spirit of the wolf soars through the air, moving in a biting motion against the wizard. It is enough damage that the wizard collapses off of the wyvern and falls dead against the stone marble floor. Off of the wyvern.
Awesome.
Your snake has an attack to follow
Oh
through.
yeah. Let's bite that wyvern.
Count
Must
to
be the 12. Sorry.
We'll count to 12. It does not connect. The wyvern moves its tail before the snake can connect.
Okay.
Tegan is up next.
Is that death save or?
Yep.
Oh.
1 failure. The golem will go, acknowledging directive. Trying to kind of squeeze around some of the stone pillars there with Dr. Connors on top. It's going to aim for a slam against both of the wyvern's wings. Both attacks hitting hard. However, the wyvern itself is still standing. It's very bloodied and it's crying out in pain. The cries kind of reverberating through the cavern.
Oh, that's not good.
God damn it.
Snake is up next.
What is
Miss.
with these rolls? All right.
All right. Will, first as a bonus action, is going to cast a healing word for his druid friend. And I think we're just going to burn it at level 2. For 6 points back to Tegan.
He's up.
And then as an action, he's going to cast Vicious Mockery against the wyvern itself. Who makes that wisdom save and will fail. All right, so the wyvern is affected by the Vicious Mockery. All right, Kent, you're up next.
All right. Let me see what I've got in my bag of tricks that I don't have to worry about being counterspelled now. We're going to cast Magic Missile at level 3 at the wyvern.
All right.
I am going to take a step out of here first, actually. I'm going to move before I do that.
All right.
5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to get to here. And Magic Missile level 3.
All right. 20 points of force damage begin to impale against this wyvern. It's breathing heavily. It's breathing labored. It's on the verge. But in a frightened, panicked state, the wyvern is going to swing around at Tuck's direction. He's going to claw twice at Tuck and attempt to get you with its stinger once. The first swing with the claw will have disadvantage thanks to Vicious Mockery, doing only a 12. The second swing with the claws will fail. With the stinger,
fail.
You nimbly dodge out of each of this wyvern's attacks. It's slow and clumsy against your natural talent. Finish it off, Duck.
Deal.
All right. 10 misses, 24 does not. And that 24 swing is going to be enough. The wyvern cries out in pain, again reverberating through the cavern, and it collapses on the stone floor. This golem, by the way, is marching ever so slowly. Looks just like a dwarf on the moat floor there, but it's not paying you any mind. For the time being, you're out of combat.
Hey, Killy.
Mhm.
Two things.
So-
One, if I'm standing here where I'm at right now, can
Mhm.
I see over this area? Like, can I look out and just see if there's anything there? Is it all dark or what do you call it? Okay. Secondly, oh, I'm not a healer. Shit. All right. That's all. I just was curious what was down there.
So I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna cast Healing Spirit on myself.
For what it's worth, actually, Kent, you see two large holes on either end here. You think that maybe this is where some of the water may have drained out.
Okay.
So, all right. Yeah. So go ahead and restore your hit points based on your spells and everything. Then, Crow.
Yep. So
And the golem's just going to continue to patrol underneath of you.
I would suggest that if you do heal back up to full, that maybe our ranger friend and our ranger friend sneak in for some heals as well, depending on how long that lasts or how many times you want to roll it or whatever it is.
I think when we're out of combat, we have what 10 1d6s.
You
Is that what
should be
we're
a
doing?
total of. You have whatever your hit dice are if you're choosing a short rest, and then Will can supplement it with his song of rest.
Do you guys want a short rest right here on the bridge?
Oh, we could do that. Yeah, if we don't want to do the.
I mean, it's not 8
Healing spirit.
hours. It's
Well, I mean, we can use this as well and do the short rest inside of it.
yeah, I like that idea. Why don't you put that over top of the dead things in our general direction?
All right. So we'll put it right there, and
Yep.
we'll go in here.
All right.
Search the wizard, by the way.
All right. Let's make a perception check.
Perception. Oh, what the fuck?
And if you're inside the bubble, you get +5 to that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, alright, well. That'd be 19.
All right, Kent. You find a pouch that gives you or that has a total of 25 gold, but otherwise nothing of significant value.
25 gold. No spell book or anything on them?
Nothing you could find.
Okay.
Interestingly, you
That's
think maybe he was a sorcerer, not a wizard.
Okay. Good call.
So
25
All
gold.
right.
So 6.
I'm gonna burn one hit dice. Should top me back off.
Mhm.
Oh. Alright, I'm gonna
Burn
burn 2 hit
second
dice.
dice.
Jesus Christ almighty.
18.
Well, that'll top me back off.
All right, don't forget to roll a d6 for the song of rest too.
Well, I don't need to. It's
Alright.
2 would have.
So give yourself the benefits of a short rest if you
What
wish.
is what's the hit die on my snake? Is it a D8?
Same as yours.
Okay, thank you.
You can recover up to 2 levels worth of spell slots. You can recover either a second level spell slot or equal to.
And what was the Song of Rest? It was another D6 on top of that?
Correct.
Oh, it's a D6. Okay.
You can choose expended spell slots.
Perfect.
All right, it's 47.
I think this first. I haven't even hit tonight.
Yeah, I haven't been hit either, but my snake has, so I'm trying to heal it.
I'm going to let me look at my spells here.
Okay,
real
that
quick.
got me back to full. I burned all my hit dice.
All right. So, all right. So as you're healing, by the way, for what it's worth, you do see a small patrol of at least 2 Kenku that are kind of looking around the area. They just stop ever so briefly and then they just continue on unless you want to intercept them for whatever reason.
Well, I
Yes,
can't see through the
No, and
thing.
thereby they don't notice you.
Hey,
They're moving from the north along in the direction kind of right in front of you, and then they're just continuing on to the south.
Kelly, if I'm reading this right, for arcane recovery, I should be able to get 3 first level spell slots back, right? Because I'm level 7.
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do that.
So while we're in here, can I talk to our golem friend for a second?
Oh yeah, nice, good thought.
Sure.
The question I have for the golem is, I forgot what it was, honeydew, or do you have a list of the other golem names?
Command not recognized.
Ask it if it can initiate repair.
Honeydew, can you initiate repair?
Command not recognized.
Honeydew, how do I
repair.
fix you? Honeydew, repair.
Command not recognized.
Yeah, because Honeydew's really hurt, and healing spells I don't think are going to have an effect.
So either they don't work on constructs.
Yeah.
Honeydew, can you see the other golem?
Acknowledged.
Honeydew, do you know the name of the other golem?
Name not known.
I tried.
I wonder if Honeydew can cannibalize the other golem for spare parts.
Command will not be followed.
All right.
Okay, that's we're all good.
Hold on one second. Is the genie still over there?
Ooh, smart.
He's still working on the masonry, it looks like.
And I totally forgot his name now. Anyone remember? Altair. Quick question for you.
Yes.
Do you know how to repair the golems?
He says, if commanded, I might be able to repair the golems, but I need to be commanded.
Okay.
I cannot deviate from my task, even if I
understood. Do you know the names of all the golems?
I do not.
Okay.
They were the toys of the dwarves who guarded this place.
Okay. Thank you for your time. Sorry to interrupt you. All right, struck out there too.
Okay. Well. Where would you guys like to go next?
Don't know. Let's check out what's in this big room to the left, maybe.
Double doors.
That's the temple.
That's
Yep.
the temple. Do you want to go around first?
Judging by what time it is, it'd probably be an idea just to kind of look outside, clear anything out here first.
Okay. If you're going to take some time to kind of peer around the perimeter for a little while, aside from the patrolling golem, well, the Kenku are gone. You don't see them anymore. The golems patrolling along the base of the moat. You also notice that although most of the water has been drained, there are traces of water, and it descends down into the ravine off to the west. And
Is
then
there anything up north to the other bridge?
Without getting a closer look down that way, you wouldn't know.
Okay.
Well, I realize judging by the time, but we're not quite there yet. Do we want to poke our head in here and see what's going on?
Do you think we have time to poke our head in here and see what's going on?
Might not be anything in there.
Kelly, did we lose you?
No, I'm still here.
Oh.
It's up. If you guys want to call it here, we can call it here. If you want to poke your head in before you call it, you can do that too.
Do you think we have time to finish all that up before we're done?
Well, we don't know if we're fighting anything or not. So,
if you're fighting, if you're going to fight something, then that'll be next time.
All right, let's have Will do a sneak and peek and see if he can do the door, and we'll just maybe get an idea of what's in there.
Okay, so I'll add for your benefit that the double doors themselves have iron hinges, and it looks like they swing inward. So if the sneak and peek's not going to be very easy.
Yeah.
Can I try one more thing real quick on our honeydew guy here?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to use the word honeydew. I'm going to say golem identify and see if he responds.
No response.
I still want to get the other golem. It's like a mission right now. It's like, what else can I do to get him? Okay. All right.
You know what, guys? Here's the deal. We're going to open that door anyway, right? And if it's combat, it's combat. And next week we'll know. We'll probably be rolling initiative immediately opening that door because it's not going to wake up. Let's open the door, and if it's a fight, we end it here tonight. Anybody against that?
Sure.
That's fine. Let's do it.
I don't have anything against that.
Yeah. Here,
Let's get in
move a
position,
little closer to
however.
these
And the
guys,
other
yeah.
golem's still bothering me a little bit.
Yeah.
Might call him
Yeah.
cantaloupe or something like that and see if he'll respond.
If that's the name of the golem, Kelly, that's too fucking funny.
Want me to go try it anyway?
Go through all the melons.
Muskmelon, get over here.
lemon.
Watermelon, come here.
Are you gonna try it?
No.
Yep.
I'm thinking about it.
Maybe next.
Hang on.
Hold on. It's working its way back up.
Try watermelon.
Watermelon, identify.
No response.
Cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe, identify.
No, I'm kidding. no response. It continues patrolling. I can't give you 2 stone golems. Come on.
Come on, why not?
One of them is powerful enough as it is.
Yeah, he's almost dead. We need to have a replacement ready.
He's nowhere close to being almost dead.
Oh, really? I thought he was like beating the shit out of.
He took 2 nasty hits, but this guy's a stone golem. He's made of stone.
Oh, good point. All right, let's open the door.
All right, okay, all right.
Greedy bastards. Opening the door, peering inside, you see there are 2 rows of pillars that support a 20-foot high ceiling of this marble hall. There are staircases in the entrance that look like they lead up to another room. The pillars in here are sculpted to resemble dwarves that are locked in sullen-looking stares, every one of them clutching an axe. East of the pillars are these 2 ascending staircases. In the middle of the room, you see several cultists